All right, we're good to go. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all having a good day. As you guys can see behind me, Bitcoin has just broken out and it's had a pretty big pop. Loki wants to say hello as well. My work area has been very dirty the last few days because I've been spending a little bit too much time at my desk, but it seems that everything's going okay. And of course, I forgot my water in my garage, but that's okay. So let's hop right into it, everybody. One little quick moment with Loki here because he really wants to say hello. Yes, he does. Very passionate dog today. He understands the news that Bitcoin has just broken out. There we go. All right. So, a little bit of surprise about the timing, I guess, but still a nice Bitcoin breakout. So that's what we're going to be talking about here today. There we go. All right. So, we had a lot of volatility, a massive fake out, and a lot of people being shaken out of the market right before this big move happened. We haven't seen not even manipulation, just like volatility like this for a while. I know when I talked to you guys yesterday, I was very adamant, said, hey, watch out for some extreme volatility heading your way, but I was not anticipating even this type of volatility. Let me explain what I mean here. If we go over here to the 5-minute chart, or even the 15-minute chart, you'll see that we initially had a breakout, and I'm sure a lot of people decided to buy that breakout here, expecting us to go higher, but what happened? We surged higher, hit that level of resistance from last week, and then we just got shorted back down to oblivion, almost down to the breakdown point here, even below some of those moving averages that we were talking about. But we found some support. Again, buyers came back. And then once we had the rate hike decision early this morning, we had a little bit more volatility. It took some time, but now we're seeing that breakout. There was a large sell-off right now, and this is what we were talking about the other day as well. We do have the buyers hopping in here, which is going to be a great thing for us going forward here, okay? Now, let me go over here very fast. There we go. All right. So, at this point, Bitcoin's having a nice move. You do see that volatility kind of ticking in there just a little bit, but we're still managing to hold support even on the 1-minute chart, which is a pretty nice sign. We just don't want to end up breaking back down here, which is going to be a problem, but I don't think it'll be a near disaster or anything like that, okay? Now, I don't know if I'm shadow banned right now by YouTube because I noticed there's only like a few of you guys watching. It'll probably go up here in the next few minutes, but definitely weird from YouTube stance, okay? But again, let's kind of go through a little bit about what's happening right now with everything else. We know Bitcoin's breaking out, but how's everything else doing? I think we may have had a few minutes heads up that something was coming, only because if you guys were watching the markets, Ethereum managed to break out too, or managed to have a little bit of a pop here before Bitcoin, which happens every now and again, but not usually within the next few minutes. Usually it takes a few days before these things start actually occurring, okay? Now, going back over here, Ethereum also had that big move here. Ethereum actually hasn't broken out yet. This goes back to that theory that we'd been talking about, or I guess I've been talking about, as far as what these moving averages mean and how once they start getting closer and closer, that typically means that we're squeezing and we need a little bit of a large move. Usually that large move is not going to be determined by the moving averages themselves. Usually we're looking at a pennant or a pattern and watching momentum. Momentum was still up, and you can see how that actually caused us to go a little bit higher as well. Same with Bitcoin and stuff like that. Now, dollar index still flat. Nothing's really changed. We're a little at the bottom of the range over the last few days, but nothing has really been going on today. ADA breaking out again. That's a nice move. I know I told you guys I'm buying up altcoins, but it seems like right now altcoins are still doing relatively well if you've been holding them for a while, or even if you guys bought them a few days ago, you guys are still doing okay, I would say. Dogecoin still trying to make its way back up. Hasn't broken out above these highs from 7.5 cents or so, but we're getting there. XRP looking like it wants to break out over the next few minutes. I'd probably be watching XRP for a day trade here personally. Ape token coming back up okay, doesn't look too bad. A small breakout here. Again, those moving averages, we have to have a big pump out of Ape token here if you want to survive. AXS up 7%, having a pretty nice bounce. Lower market than I would say, ADA and Doge, but still a pretty solid play here. AXS still doing okay. Bitcoin Cash still consolidating. Not anywhere near that high point of 269 that we're still at. We are still at 264. Excuse me, guys. Whoosh. All right. Matic over here. Matic is still testing out resistance. This is one of my personal favorite plays for this week, and it still hasn't broken out. I'm hoping we can have that big move here, but let me go over here to do something on my end. There we go. All right. Yeah, but still looking for that breakout here. I'm hoping we can have a pretty big jolt. I would still be going long on this personally. BNB doing okay. Chili's up a little bit as well, trying to have that full breakout. Crypto.com token still doing fine. You know, I have some of this. I've been buying this for quite a bit of time here, but this is only because it's an exchange token, and usually exchange tokens work out in the long run, because if the exchange is still surviving by the next bull run, they usually do have some really big buy-ins, because especially exchanges like Crypto.com, if you hold enough of their cryptocurrency, they will give you really solid perks, like they'll pay for all of your Netflix, all of your Hulu accounts, and things like that, which is pretty darn cool. All right, Shiba Inu still doing okay. Dot did have that breakout. That was something good to see here. We had been waiting for it, and some of you guys have been asking me about it, and I said I'd be holding it, and boom, there you go. You got Doge on Mars still doing okay. This one's waiting for a nice solid boom here, so this is something you'd still want to be buying right now, and you're waiting for that big move, and your stop loss is going to be very close by, okay? Now, if I go back over here, actually, Fairdesk, futures, and I want to go over here to make sure, let's repost that right here. I wanted to do one thing on my end here, because maybe it's because I don't actually stream too much in the middle of the day. I need to actually post Bitcoin breakout. There you go. All right, going back over here, we can see some of the positions that we've taken over the last 24 hours. Some of them are still down, like Blur is still down, Comp is down, Key is down, and RNDR is down 5%. Unif that we bought yesterday as well, that one had a big pop, so we really shouldn't have bought it, but it's a long-term play, so who cares? Let me zoom in on this just a tad bit more so you guys can see what's going on. And let me move my head out of the way. All right, so for our long-term portfolio that we started, I don't know, a few weeks ago. So far, we have some things doing okay. Ape token is still up for us. Bitcoin's up around 40%, close to. Comp is down 1%. Cyber's up 9%. Ethereum is up 29%. HFT is up 5%-ish. HOT is up 14%. This was actually down for us for a while. ICP is up 47%. This is one of my favorites here for a rebound just because of how much it fell down. Key is pretty much neutral because it is a 2x play. It's like down 0.5%. Lux is up 30%. That's actually pretty nice. Some of you guys recommended this to me a few days ago. Loom is up 20%. OXT is up 31%. We do have Poly over here. This one's up 5%. Nothing great, but at least it's up a little bit. I've only been adding a small amount of money to some of these just because the market's been pumping and I've been trying to get these discounts on these altcoins before they start popping here. RNDR is down 5%. STMX is up 43%, up 167 bucks. That's been nice to see. Theta is up 31%. Tana is up 24%. And then you have Unif and XVG, something I bought this week, not doing nearly as hot. Those last two are kind of around 15%. So could be better, but we're going to be hoping for the best here. All right, let's go back up here very fast. Overall, market's still doing good. And our position, we're up around 610 bucks right now. Not a lot in the scheme of things, but for a portfolio that we just started a few weeks ago, about a month ago now, and been adding a little bit here, a little bit there, it's going pretty solid. And I just want to show you guys, I know during altcoin season, this will change greatly, but I have been putting the majority of my money into Ethereum and Bitcoin, and it seems like those have been some really solid plays. Now, I know there are things that are up more than 38%, like a ICP or a Reef, but it's good to put money in those safe places, especially when you're going to be adding large amounts of it. And so later on this Thursday, we're also going to be adding on another $300 to $400 of cryptocurrencies into this portfolio until altcoin season really ends, or you might even say until Bitcoin has an all-time high followed by a death cross between the 20 and 50-day moving averages. We're not there yet, okay? We're not even close to that, actually. But overall, we're seeing a lot of stuff pop right now. Even KDA is having a nice day at this point. Sushi's up 51%, 52%. I own some of this, and honestly, this is like me saying, hey, maybe I should just sell some and take some profit. This is having a pretty big bounce that I was not expecting, and usually when something pops up this high, it's going to come crashing back down. Arbitrum making a move back up here again, like we talked about, breaking above that 20. The daily chart coming back up to that 200. I'd be looking to scale out here pretty soon as far as some of these plays. But some of the plays that haven't popped off yet, like we've been talking about, before we talk about those, Solana is still ripping up here today a lot. It's heading for that next level of resistance. I would start scaling out of a couple of these plays that have definitely been going up quite a bit. I don't think you need to get rid of everything in your portfolio right now, but just taking some profits for you swing traders. If you're long-term holders, you're just going to be weathering this either way. But seems to be a good way to go here. Now, let me go back over here very fast. I want to make sure this is working on my end. Nice. Optimization. Okay, there we go. Wonder if that's actually having an issue there. But okay. It's nice to see that Bitcoin is actually having that breakout, but now we got to go back over here to the 5-minute chart, zoom in here. This breakout wasn't as large as you might expect, so we are in a consolidation phase right here. I wanted just to show you guys that for a couple seconds. Most in the 5-minute chart, hopefully we can still stay afloat. We don't want to start breaking back down below 35,000. That's really the goal here. We did just make a new 2023 high, I should say, and we're hoping that we can continue to break up a little bit higher than that one, okay? All right, let's back out of here for the 15-minute chart. And then we just have to talk about this very fast. It's important, but not too important. What do you call it? And hey, hey Dube, hope you're doing well, my man. I had to make sure that everybody could talk here. But what do you call it? Ooh, there we go. If you guys didn't know, we did have that no rate hike decision today as well. That's where you guys saw a little bit of this volatility in the morning hours. It honestly wasn't a lot. You know, we had a crazy big move early this morning, right as market opened up, pretty much. But when the actual rate hike decision was announced, a little bit of volatility, but ultimately not too much here. I think everybody had just figured, hey, the Fed's not going to be doing any more work, and so they kind of just said, we don't really have to worry about the volatility. There was no big surprise. Usually when there's a surprise, you see it going up one way or another. There was no surprise. The surprise came earlier in the day when we had this breakout. We hit resistance, but then we just got shorted back down to oblivion. So this was the bears attempting to crash Bitcoin back down and actually cause a little bit more of a reversal, maybe going back down below $34,000, $33,000. That did not happen. Again, like I said before, buyers came in and buyers are still there. Now, do you really want to be buying up crazily up here or even up here? No, but when you get the opportunities to buy the dip, I think that's okay. You guys remember I had that scalping strategy? I was testing it out some more earlier today, and let me open up this testing out for tutorials. This is where I test out different strategies and stuff like that. You're going to see what a wild ride this had and how it's actually messing up the indicator here, right? So normally you would short right here and wait for it to come back down. I guess what you did. But in reality, when you're looking at such a huge breakout above a big level of resistance, normally you would not short back into that unless you're very confident about it coming back down. This is more of what I was looking for. Here this morning, we had the red candles, we had the oversold. You buy right here. Well, you buy on you go along the first green candle, so technically it's right here. And then you wait for it to come back up. That would have been a good half an hour of waiting, which would have been a little bit annoying for most. But you saw all this crazy volatility here. Look at this. This would have said to short right here, oversold, and you would have ended up hitting your stop loss right there because it just kept on going up and having a nasty wick. So overall, it's still working okay. Almost had a buying opportunity there, but that volatility that we've seen today can really mess with it. So just be careful if you guys are going to be using that strategy going forward. We can always get back out of this now and go back over to the normal one. Consolidation, consolidation. That's really what we're looking for now, and trying not to break back down below the support here. Right now our support level is still kind of around 35,000. I'm using 35,130 at the moment, but I'm looking at a Bitcoin tethered chart, not a Bitcoin USD chart here. All right. And if you guys are looking to long Bitcoin right here, you might have an opportunity by having those lower highs, higher lows, and we're looking for a small squeeze. I want to find out to see if there's any large news out there at this point, but I'm not entirely sure. This might have just been a pent up move, but let me go back in here and see. Nope, to a 35,000. There we go. I probably should have moved it over here a little bit. There we go. And now we're looking at this magnet up here. There we go. And now we're looking at 35,582 as that level of resistance. Maybe I should just make that into a red line to make it a little bit easier to say, hey, that's resistance. But I think you guys probably get it here. All right. Now, what I got to also do here very fast is I just got to check something very, very quickly about my stream to make sure it's actually working properly. Oh, no, there's a, what do you call it? That's fine. I can wait for it a couple seconds. Oh, yeah, it's actually doing okay. Okay, never mind. That's working out okay. So I thought my stream went out for a couple seconds. So I wanted to make sure everything's working out okay. And we might have a small Bitcoin breakdown here. So hopefully the consolidation can keep on going. Let me see if there's anything else going up right now. Engine coin seems to be going up here. That's climbing a little bit here. STMX is up another 6% today. That's something I like to see. And sushi. I mean, sushi is definitely up quite a bit here. 15-minute chart. Oh, let me put my head back on here. There we go. I mean, sushi's pretty much blowing through all those levels of resistance, though. Oh, yeah, it broke above that 200. That kind of cleared it for another day of launching. Sometimes it doesn't get cleared up to that next level. Let's see. Seeing that old level of resistance? Yeah, that's nothing bad there. If you see something moving at 53%, I don't know about you, but I'm probably selling part of it off here. I don't exactly know what's happening with Sushi Token, though. That thing seems to be just going berserk at this point. Let's see. Arbitrum's up a little bit. But yeah, Sushi seems to be the big kahuna today. Let me go over here to CoinMarketCap. There we go. All right. Last 24 hours, what's up? Near Protocols up 16%. Solana's up 15%. And you got Quantum up 15%. So yeah, we do see some really good things here. Anything actually down right now? Last 24 hours? What do you mean? Maker is down. This is interesting, but the price of Maker is at $1,300, but it still does have a billion market cap. I don't like cryptocurrencies like this that are usually pretty high unless there's something like an Ethereum or something that's well established. But it is making its move up, I guess, so that's something interesting. I don't hold any Maker, but it's been up 162% this year. XDC network is up a little bit. Oh, it's seen me down. BitTorrent's down a little bit. Leo's down a little bit. Pex Gold is down a little bit. BGB is down a little bit. BGB is up 666% year to date, though, so they're probably doing just fine. Anything else here? No, these are all dollars, stable coins. This one right here, Conflux, that one's up 670% this year as well. That one's actually pretty good. Huobi tokens on 52. Stellos, okay. So there's a lot of stuff that's also not popping, so I guess just be aware of that as well. A lot of the stuff we look at here is stuff that usually pops during these moments, but even here, you can see that Crow is down 0.5%. But at the same time, it's actually pumped up quite a bit over the last few weeks. So keep all of this in mind, guys. Let's go back over here to the 15-minute chart as far as Bitcoin's concerned. And we're seeing that slight breakdown occur now. So it's not the end of the world. We just have to wait for that next level of support to hit. I don't think we're going to be crashing back down below this with the pop that we've had, but still possible. So just be cautious until we actually have a breakout. I would only be buying a bullish momentum at this point. And, you know, at the same time, we did just break out, so that is bullish momentum. But if you guys are looking for a day trade, I would just wait for the breakout, pop up, and then take your money after that. There we go. And hey, Matt, it's happy to see you back. I don't know what's happening with YouTube, but nobody's commenting, and it's freaking me out. So I'm not entirely sure what the problem is, but it seems very, very awkward. Same thing happened last night. There was a lot of people watching, but nobody commenting, and I'm not entirely sure what that means. Like, I don't know if YouTube isn't letting people chat as much, or if there's some type of issue with that, because it's freaking me out. It's weird to have people look at you but not talk. I'm not well, you know, imagine a professor, but you say, hey, anybody have any questions? But then nobody asks a question. Let me see if I can go over here very fast. I might just need to be live reactions, members. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. And hey, Thunder. Oh, there it is. Okay. Just absorbing all the info. Okay, I feel like maybe I'm just too much of an educator. I know my friend Tom, Tom Crown Crypto, he has a lot of people messaging during his, but I don't think he's necessarily teaching as much as just talking about the market and having a vibe. But thank you for commenting, guys. I appreciate it. Ave is on its way, looking for a $100 price target. Love your show. Hey, dude, I appreciate it a lot. And let me know if you want to talk about Ave at all. I'm happy to do so. Right now, we're just watching Bitcoin have this consolidation moment and waiting for that move. Should I zoom out here? No, it's 125. Let me do this. I want to give you guys more chart to see, but I also want to just let you guys actually see the numbers here. Maybe we go up to 40. I think that's a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. All right. Breakout, consolidation, that's what we're looking for. And actually, in fact, here, let me just put that rectangle back so we can kind of see what's going on. Because I still do think this is a decent level of support and resistance that people can be using without having to add a shit ton of lines onto their charts. There we go. All right, and then we can take this one off since we didn't break down. We'll bring it back if we end up coming back over here. But to be frank, this is like November 6th. That's like a week from now. We're not going to worry about that for now. Okay, back over to the 15. Consolidation galore here. There we go. All right. And then King of Thunder. Looking at Tom at the same time. Me and Tom talk a lot. I've been trying to get Tom to do long form videos for a while, and he's just now doing it. So I'm really happy to see how his videos do. He's been doing some Lux Algo videos, I think, just like I do Lux Algo videos. Yep, we have to listen. If you guys can, maybe I haven't done this in a while, but if you guys could spam chat, I'd appreciate it. Or just comment whatever you guys want to comment. I usually don't care. It's when there's nobody talking, but I know there's people watching it. I don't know. I always feel like it's a glitch because it's happened before, where sometimes it'll say that YouTube will think that I only want a certain level of people to talk, like members or something like that, when in reality it's just YouTube glitching out. It's a weird thing, but it happens every so often. What do I think about the next leg up for Doge? I'm stuck at 10 cents, and I think I will sell. I think I will sell the next leg up, but I always sell too soon, so I don't really know when a good time to sell. Well, to be frank, I usually sell a little bit too soon. I have to re-enter my positions on those consolidations, like what I was telling you before about Bitcoin. I'm like, okay, would you want to be buying right now? I said I sold off a lot of mine right here, well before that high level, and I was like, I have to get back in here somewhere, but most of my Bitcoin trade that I was doing is still mostly sold off. The altcoins are what I loaded up on over the past few days, and altcoins have now started to go back up. Even that's why I've been showing you guys those this, because even with the 2x leverage, you buy a couple weeks ago, you're still 30% up. Or that's Bitcoin, see me. 11%. Hey, comp finally went positive. Ethereum's up a little bit. HFT's up. Hot's up. But as far as Dogecoin, going to your question, let's kind of bring this up here. Weekly chart is what we want for your question. Okay, see that breakout? We've had breakouts before with Dogecoin, and they always don't go our way. But since Bitcoin's breaking out, I'm just a little bit more bullish this time about Dogecoin. Let's just say what you're hoping for Dogecoin is probably for it to hit in the short term, and by that I mean, next couple weeks. The more I talk, the more I burp. Like I said. I would be expecting us to hit that next level of resistance, which is over here, kind of around 0.083. The issue at this point is we have to be able to break back above that 50-week moving average. That's still going to be a level of resistance for us. We still need Bitcoin to be bullish throughout this whole process, okay? So I would say kind of around 8 cents is something I'm looking for. If you're looking up here for 10 cents, I think it's possible, but I think you would probably have to wait longer than 2 weeks unless we have some type of crazy boom with Bitcoin that takes us well above 40,000, in which case I think 10 cents is very likely for Dogecoin. But it's going to have that surge, because just like before, go to the daily chart, right? We had a nice breakout. You see how fast this kind of comes back down here? That always makes me a little bit more concerned with Dogecoin, because even if everything else is bullish, Dogecoin's natural instinct over the past year now has been to have these lovely pops, but then crash back down very fast, going back into more of a neutral state where it's like we're trying to wake up a dragon with Dogecoin, but all we're doing is poking and poking and prodding, and it gets mad and it comes back up for a second, and then it just naturally goes back to sleep. I don't know if this is the time for Dogecoin to wake up and, you know, be like Smog freaking killing all the villagers and stuff like that, killing all the, you know, the anti-Doge folks and the shorts. But I do think that 8 cents is not out of the question. Since I usually do sell too early, maybe you can try to pack that up to 8.5 to 9 cents. But I would say if it hits that 8.3 or 8 cents, it could be a scale out level to just try to get some out. So, you know, even if it dips down more down the road, at least you'd be like, okay, well, I'm at least part out. And then with that money that you've taken from that selling of the position or scaling out of the position, you have more, a little bit more liquidity for your portfolio to say, hey, now I can move some money over here. I can allocate some, you know, you can allocate a little bit differently. But I would still say around 8% here. Excuse me, 8 cents, not 8%. But actually, what would that be? That's about 15% move you're looking for over the next few days. Week, 2 weeks here. I want to go back over here and look at sushi very fast. I mean, sushi's up 53% right now, but I'm not entirely sure if it's going to continue to go higher. But you can see consolidation, big boom here. This is what I was hoping would happen with Bitcoin. But Bitcoin at this point is still consolidating and just patiently waiting. Nothing bad about patiently waiting. It does have a much higher market cap, but at the same time, I'm just waiting. Matic and Ethereum Classic, I'm waiting for big pops here. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I really want to see a big poof up any minute now. Not a minute, next 20 minutes or so. The other one, though, is Ethereum Classic, and that one is over here at, there we go. Oh, yeah, it's moving. It's moving. It already broke above that 200 daily moving average. Looking at a first level of resistance, I kind of want to see it up around 19 bucks. That's what I said a few weeks ago, but you know what? A few weeks ago, yeah, actually, it is going up there. A few weeks ago, we were back down here, right? So I guess $19 isn't a bad thing. You know, greed is something I tend to have a little bit too much of. A level of resistance, though, just to be forewarned, is kind of around 18.5, though. I think we can wick above it, at least wick above it, and that'd be a good opportunity to just sell around 19 bucks, though. Matic. Come on, Matic. I mean, Matic annoys the hell out of me sometimes because you can see the move coming, but often it just takes a little bit longer than you want it to. So we'll keep an eye on this one. It's currently up around 4% at this point in time, or what, 3.66. Hopefully it comes back up a little bit more. But again, this is what's happening. You're seeing Bitcoin. Remember, we just talked about that smaller breakdown on the 1 minute chart. You're seeing that breakdown occur, and we don't want to keep on falling here. That means all of that move is just going to be coming back down. Hey Axel, blessings Mike, hold, buy low, sell high. Oh yeah, this is the high point for those of you guys that are looking to scale out, but it all depends on what price you guys got in at this point. So when I was telling you guys about you know, dollar cost averaging, or how I was loading up on altcoins and stuff like that, like there's this thing right here, I don't know, what's this? ICP, okay? Oh, it's behind my head. You guys can see right here that I bought ICP 1014. Bitcoin at 1014 was right here. So, you know, a lot lower than where Bitcoin is, a lot higher than where it was. So at this point, if I'm long term, I'm thinking of scaling out at this point, not really buying more. But if you guys don't have any open positions like that, your thought process is going to be much different. So if you guys bought weeks ago and you guys have been holding and you guys have been planning out a proper swing trade, not a long-term yearly hold type of thing, but just holding for a week, 2 weeks, even a couple months, you guys are in that scale out mode at this point in time. But let's say, and that depends on every single coin you guys have is going to have a different price target. Like if you were telling me about sushi token right here, that's up 52%. I have some of this. Sometime after the stream is over, I'm going to sell 100% of my sushi token, which is, I guess now it's probably a lot more, but if you've been kind of holding this for a while like I have, it's probably only up like 20% or something like that, even maybe. But stuff like this, you know, if I had price targets over the last few weeks, yeah, all those price targets would be smashed and I'd be technically all out of this play. Whereas if I had a price target type of thing on something like STMX, which I like for the long term, I would still be holding this, right? We still even haven't even seen that big breakout as far as STMX is concerned. And then I bought my STMX, at least for my portfolio, to kind of show you guys what I'm doing. I bought that. Again, you can see I've been buying this for quite a bit of time though. So I bought some on 929, like 4 different things at 429, and then I've also bought some on 1019. So let's go daily, I guess. September 29th was not over here. I wish it was. September 29th was, there you go, right there, right? That's not some ultra low price that I got in at. It went down, it went back up, it went down, it went back up, it went down. Now, now it's going back up, which is why you just got to trust the momentum. It's going to carry you through here, as you can kind of see that consolidation pattern that was setting itself up. But again, if you guys haven't bought anything yet, I would ask why, which I think you probably have something bought. But then, oops, no, I had the exact thing I was looking for. Let's get rid of that rectangle for a second. Let's get rid of that resistance for a second. Let's get rid of that line. Okay. Let's get rid of this line as well. We have the breakout from last week. We had the consolidation following that. This was your opportunity to necessarily buy with some confidence. And again, the stop loss we were using, I think, was, what did I tell the members here? I made a members video on it right here. This stop loss, which was 33,200 was your stop loss for Bitcoin primarily. And we're breaking back out. You could, in theory, buy right here on this breakout, hoping for a larger move. That's kind of what you'd be looking at right now. But you're going to have a much larger stop loss than you might otherwise want to have. So if I'm buying at 35,192 bucks right now, my stop loss is all the way back down here at 34,000. You know, that's okay. I would say that's fine. You're looking at, if you're doing long term with leverage, you know, that's at 3%. So if you're doing like a 10x leverage play, that's 30% you're risking. And then what you're hoping for now is that next level of resistance for Bitcoin, because we're breaking through these type of walls right here above my head. Then we're starting to look for more levels like way up here, looking about 40,000 bucks or so. So, you know, you're risking 30% for what, like 14% times 10, 140%. The ratio is there. But, you know, just be careful with, I guess, is my main point here. The consolidation ranges have been the best times to buy, it looks like. So you'd want to be buying right now Bitcoin. Altcoins, you still have an opportunity to buy, but because some of these altcoins have already been ripping so much, I would just say be cautious, because you never know when this nice little gravy train that we're currently on is going to end. I hate to kind of zoom out in situations like this and be like, hey, just be careful. But, you know, we've had periods of time where we've had these nice surges. Nothing like what we're seeing right now. Oops, nothing like that. You know, this is a little bit different. But we've had these really nice times that where we've kind of stagnated and then we crash. And everybody's freaking sad and crying all over again. Rapid move. This is a financial crisis right here. Boomed back up, right? Boomed back up. And then over the next few months, we came all the way back down. Boom back up. Financial crisis. That's a little bit different. This is FTX, a little bit different. Big boom right here, come back down really fast, okay? So, understand, we're in a good moment right now, but don't let that stop you from having stop losses on your on your positions at this point. But definitely looking at a pretty nice move here. Now, let me do one thing here as well. This down here. There we go. Okay. And hey, Larry, happy to see you back. How's your portfolio doing? I bet it's been doing a little bit better because of the no rate hike decision, right? Let's get back over here to the 1 hour chart. Yeah, it still seems like an opportunity. The only thing that kind of scared me out of everything today was this little breakout that we had earlier where we broke out. We were trying to have a nice surge, and then what happened? We just got killed back down. So this could still happen to us on a larger scale, but the fact that we're still managing to hold here, I think is a good sign. And then, of course, go back over to the daily chart. We got 2 hours and 9 minutes left until the candle closes. Then we have a confirmed breakout. I would say, to be more bullish and like be very, very bullish, I would like this to actually close above the high that we just broke above. So for us, that's going to be, let's take away this right here. Let's go back over to maybe a 4 hour chart. There we go. I would like to see us break above 35,280, looks like. We're currently at 35,256. If we don't break above this, there is a good chance, not a great chance, but there's a stronger chance that we end up actually giving back a lot of the gains that we just had today, and we come down 2% tomorrow for Bitcoin, which again isn't a lot, but altcoins are going to flip out if that occurs. That's kind of the issue here. But overall, we're in a good spot. We see Bitcoin consolidating right now. We're waiting for it to continue to pump back up. We got 2 hours. I'll be here for all 2 hours, so don't worry about it. The only thing is, in a few minutes, I had a big thing of water in my hand, but as I was coming downstairs to hop on my, the office and stream with you guys, but I left my jug of water in my garage. So I'm gonna go get that in a little bit, just so I can actually stay very hydrated during these conversations. But yeah, so that's really the battle going on right now. We're back above it now, so now we're above it, right? So we're teetering on the edge. We got 2 hours. We'll most likely be fine. It took a lot of force to break above that, though, right? You got stuff like AXS. This is something I'm waiting for another pop. I just told you guys about Matic. Matic, I have a long on this right now. The long is not... I can technically sell for a profit. I want to see us break out, though. You see this right here? Boom! I'm waiting for it. It hasn't happened. Maybe it won't happen. But I'm still betting. I still have positions thinking that it will happen. It's annoying me that it's not. But you know what? I'm trying to be more patient at this point. You got stuff like Chili's. It's now breaking out above those levels. I'm hoping, something similar to what I'm expecting with Matic. Crow, still trying to move up higher. This is more of a gradual move. Shiba Inu, resistance levels. Dot, broken out. Some of you guys asked me about Dot yesterday, and I was saying, yeah, it's an okay buy. And I mean, there you go, 6%. I don't know if you can expect much more than that. I guess you maybe on the daily chart you could a teeny bit more up to 4.8. I'd probably scale out and then rebuy in here if it decides to keep on going, but that's because I'm pretty cautious. The golden cross is occurring today here as well. Engine token got rejected off of that 200, trying to rebound at this point, so I'm kind of watching this one closely too. Big story though is still sushi, but I mean sushi ran up against resistance. Nothing wrong with that if people take their profits. Probably the right thing, the right thing to do here, right? And yeah, see there it goes back down below that level. Let's go to the 1 minute chart. There you go. You can see they're trying to bring us down. What did I say before though? We don't want to break down below this. If we can somehow hold some form of higher lows, and that means if we have a low here, then a higher low over here, then a higher low over here, we'll still survive. But if we break down this lower high right here, this is where you guys might see the smart money concepts, ICT concepts, whatever, where you start to break down below. That's usually a sign that momentum has shifted back down. Not forever, but enough to where people are going to be like, maybe I should just wait before buying back in, that type of stuff, which I'm not too concerned about. Again, right now my main goal here is long-term investing. These nice moves that we're having, it looks nice on a long-term portfolio like I just showed you guys, but for swing trades, it's not so much Bitcoin that I'm trading, and I've been pretty adamant about that for the last few weeks because my price targets were not this high for Bitcoin. So when all those price targets were hit, all of my Bitcoin, well, the majority of my Bitcoin positions sold, which is good. I made some profit, but at this point, my money is really banking on altcoins, and altcoin prices have been hitting pretty steady over the past few days. So I've been selling off good amounts, but they haven't gotten to the point where I've had more than maybe 1 to 2 scale outs per an actual altcoin. So I'm hoping that altcoins still have a little bit more room to go, and a little bit for an altcoin is like 10-20% for certain things. So we're waiting and seeing. That's why I was telling you guys about STMX. This is one of my favorite things to trade. It's popping, of course. It's having that nice big move, but STMX historically, it has some really nice moves. See these little crazy moves like that, crazy wick ups for a day, then it comes back down. Nice little rallies. It doesn't look like a lot, but like just even this move right here, my June random little peak right there, that was 100% spike. This one from low to high is 73%. This just one day, I guess, spike was up like 109%. Am I expecting something crazy like that? No, but I would like to see a 50% day here for one just opportunity. But again, baby steps here. We're kind of reaching that weekly high at this point. And I would actually say if you guys are going to be swing trading altcoins at this point, it may be nice just to have that indicator. You guys know the Lux Algo one I promote every now and again. I say promote, but it's a free indicator. But it has the breakup structures and stuff like that. That's not really what I think is important at this point. what I like about it is, let me take off everything, order blocks, all of it. It's not what I'm here to talk about. Everything. Okay. They have this thing here, and I might have to zoom in a little bit to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. You see this thing that says, there you go. Oh, yeah. High lows, MTF. All right, so if you do the daily, it'll have a line on the daily high and the daily low. But if you guys add that weekly one right there, the weekly high and the weekly low, that's usually what I'm looking for. Now on STMX, it's already broken above that. But if you find something that hasn't, just like what I talk about with those moving averages, that's always another thing that I'm looking to see. Hey, if we break it above that, we can continue going higher. So maybe if I go over here to a daily, or excuse me, a 4-hour chart, see how we broke it right there, and then now we're going higher. Gala, if we break above there, we're probably most likely going higher. If we get close enough, I might even buy some there actually. ICP, most things are going to be below that, I think, because they fell off quite a bit because Bitcoin kind of just stagnated a little bit and then had that freak out moment earlier. Watch closely some of those as they come to those weekly levels. Solana, it broke out above that level and it just never looked back, I guess. But, you know, those breakouts are going to be something I'm watching closely. Now, let me zoom back out because 200% is a little bit too crazy for us. But I'm not going to have those on. I mean, because we've already broken out above it as far as Bitcoin's concerned. That's the thing. I will add dailies onto it. Now, we've already broken about the daily too. Yeah, see, yeah, let me see. If I go over here to the 15-minute chart, what happened when we broke out above it? No, see, we had that fake out. That nasty, nasty freaking fake out right there. Oh, that was so brutal. I mean, this got so many people. This is a massive bull trap, a bear trap, massive trap. There's Bitcoin though. Bitcoin's trying to surge back up. See, there we go. All right, let me take this back off for a second. I do not need to know the code behind this thing. I will actually just get rid of it now. All right, consolidation. We did not break down below the low, and there you go. So we're still looking fine here, even the small breakout, if you want to consider that. But Bitcoin's still moving up higher, but we came close. Not too close, though. All right. I'm just going to keep on moving this up with the actual new high of the day so we can keep track of it. I was hoping that other indicator might actually go for the new high of the day, but it seems like it's by daily close, which would be a lot easier for coders, I guess. Oh, I'm going to have to change something up. I keep on looking over here to see what you guys are saying, but then I realize that like I should have an ability to see you guys' messages over here. There we go. Now I can see it. All right. I'm glad about the 152 calls a week and a half ago. So far, Bitcoin's having a nice little move here. So far, it seems to be, those calls seem to be making you some good money here. I was surprised. Well, no, we hit all those support levels last week here. And I think earnings this week haven't been nearly as bad. I think everybody was really just pausing for a second to see if they were going to raise interest rates or not. But what did we talk about last time? Rates have been coming back down ever so slightly. The bond yields and stuff like that. So that's a good sign for you. I'm hoping it continues. We do have a little bit of room to go up for a while here. Overall trend I still think is down, but those calls seem to be in the right place for now. See, well, I guess I can't read all of you guys' messages because this poll is annoying in my spot. What I don't understand though is Bitcoin futures ETF had been out for a year. I don't know the difference. I think it's just because the futures ETF, I don't think it's going to be the same deal with how much money is going to be invested in it compared to the BlackRock ETF. I think that might have just been an arbitrary goal that we had set for ourselves, because actually I don't know how many people have actually invested in the Bitcoin futures, because I don't know. I've never wanted to invest in futures myself. I think that's just what the people were talking about, but I might have to look more into that because nobody's really been talking about the futures. I bet it's just something more long-term institutional. There's more of an institutional backing type of effect with this one that we're looking at now, but I'm not entirely sure. Is this a false breakout? It doesn't look like a false breakout right now. If you guys are going to be buying at this point, just make sure you guys have a pretty decent stop loss. If you guys are buying right now, that stop loss is probably going to be a little bit larger than if you guys bought kind of over this last hiatus of a week. But that's just kind of the way it works right now, especially when you're buying like this. Your Bitcoin stop losses are probably going to be anywhere between 3 and 4%, which is kind of high, unless you guys are holding for a couple weeks, in which case it's probably not too bad. But you're going to have a pretty aggressive price target if you guys are buying at this moment in time. Like I said before, you're probably looking for $38,000 to $40,000 if you guys want to buy now with a decent risk reward ratio. The best thing I would say to do is look for altcoins that haven't popped off yet, or if they have broken out, they're testing out another level of resistance and they're kind of waiting for that next big leg up. Matic is something you may look at. I just showed you guys that a few minutes ago. To be Ethereum Classic is probably something else there as well. Dogecoin just broke out. It's probably not going to move for a couple weeks here, or it has a couple weeks before it really has to do anything crazy. Anything else that's really looking good? I mean, you could maybe short Sushi Token, but I mean, that thing has jumped up 50%. Any shorts in that thing just got murdered. I would still do the safe thing, is just to buy some Bitcoin and kind of hold for a little bit. But the way I've been buying has definitely been more focused on altcoins. But I bought, again, not before they popped here just the last couple of days. It had been before that. So when nothing's happening, it's a little bit easier to buy. When everything's kind of pumping up, you can still buy quite a bit, but you just have to have those stop losses up. So just be careful with it. But yeah. See, we're gonna make it through in time. I think it'll pump a little. Alt's gonna pump, and meme season here, almost volume picking up. I don't think altcoin season is here necessarily. Altcoin season is a whole different thing. Altcoin season is when you see the real ludicrous types of moves. We haven't seen anything close to that as far as altcoins yet. So like if I don't know, just zoom out of what's a coin that hasn't really gone too crazy yet. Ethereum Classic. Look at the monthly chart. Let's go auto here. All right. We're kind of at the bottom levels right now. So if you guys are doing long-term investments, then yeah, you definitely be buying, a little bit every week, so to speak, in preparation for whenever that happens. But you see how when this happened like this, you could say it really started to pop off right here. But let's just even go back to February. That was 89 days, or about 3 months. Maybe yeah, 3 months. 3 months of insane popping. I don't try to buy right here just for that. I'm the guy that buys and holds through all the murky shit so I can get all these nice prices, and then eventually goes up. At this point, I've been buying up for a little bit of time, but when it comes to stuff like Ethereum Classic, my average is probably like 15, 16 bucks. It's not like all the way down here at $12. That's not for sure, because I did buy some down here like 15 bucks, even around 14 bucks. But guess what? I also bought some over here on 22 bucks. So that, it's not the best average. But whenever it does occur, then you're fine. When you're looking at different plays out here, a lot of these things are kind of fuck things up just because they're technicals. Like, look at this. Technically, that was the breakout. Kind of fizzled out a little bit, and now we're just trying to hold on. But at least the downtrend is over. That's something to be happy about. But timing those altcoin seasons is going to be hard, especially when Bitcoin itself isn't really making that, like, those all-time highs. Like right now, what is this? April, May of 2021. I think if we go back here to Bitcoin for a second, you still see the thing. April, May. So Bitcoin was tanking during that time, right? So usually altcoins popping off takes a little bit longer than Bitcoin here. But I'm hoping we can have a nice move. I mean, you can see Bitcoin still wants to surge, so I'm still bullish on Bitcoin right now. It's the trading aspect that's going to be more difficult for most of you guys, because you guys are going to want to have a stop loss here. So if you wanted to have a shorter stop loss, you'd be around 34,000. 34,000 is a pretty hefty stop loss if you had $35,500. But again, that would have been a lot easier if you bought like literally just like a few hours ago. Now, during the middle of the pop, it's you're afraid of FOMOing and stuff like that. But what did I say yesterday? One of the reasons I like trading so much, one of the reasons that I thought we were going to be experiencing a lot of volatility today was two things. The first thing was really just the rate hike possibility with the Fed. We pretty much said they're probably not going to do another rate hike. They're kind of just doing nothing at this point. They're just waiting to see what occurs. I wish they would probably raise maybe one more time, but we'll wait and see. But the other thing was moving averages. We're getting a little bit too close, which means we're going to have a squeeze effect here where we're going to pop. Now, pop one way or the other. I thought we might actually come back down if nothing with whales didn't hop in, and it looks like we had a pretty big move by a whale here, which is good. But that volatility, like seeing that volatility ahead of time, lets you buy those positions ahead of time. Because $36 hours ago-ish, I told you, no, maybe 30 hours-ish. 30 hours ago, I told you guys it would probably take between 24 to 36 hours to have some type of larger move, because that's what we were looking for. It kind of took around a little bit longer of that scale, because I thought it might actually happen maybe in the 24-hour range. Take a little bit longer. So we are having that move, but I would suggest that most of you guys that are kind of not used to looking at these big moves, or you guys don't want to buy at these levels, but you guys want to like have some certainty when buying around here, always watch the moving averages on the 4-hour chart and sometimes the 1-hour chart and 2-hour charts. Usually when they start to squeeze together, you guys are looking at a little bit more volatility, right? Squeezing together right here, more volatility. Squeezing over here, a little bit of volatility, but not too much. It's usually after we have a larger move and you want to see if we go higher. Not squeezing so much here, but I have to say, this move that happened earlier today, that huge wick up, huge wick down, that would have shaken out a lot of investors, professionals or not. or not. But yeah, the 4-hour one I think is the most important. You see how we didn't close down below it? This is usually the one I would say if you can look at one moving average on a chart. Usually it's the 20 and the 50 on the 4-hour charts. You can do the daily charts as well, but I think of those as more of swing trade, something a swing trader would look at when they're looking to hold for multiple weeks, at least a week. We don't say multiple weeks, but at least a week here. Go back over here to the daily. We're not even close to that 20. That's why I'm not concerned too much now. Where we're going to have more concerns is sometime next week, perhaps. That's why I could see a little bit more of a scary moment. Well, that kind of depends on what you define as scary. Scary to me right now is Bitcoin dropping like 5-6% in a day. That's a possibility, but I would say it's probably going to happen not anytime soon here. Again, sometime next week if we are going to have it at all. And that's only because of the moving averages. As we get more data, the breakout continues, all of that stuff really changes up. But at this point, you're seeing a clear breakout, and we're trying to make new highs here again. And of course, close above that 35,000 level that we've just been talking about. Oh, I moved this level up off of that here, so I should probably just move it back down. There we go. All we're trying to do is close above this line. And again, what did I say? How much longer do we have? 1 hour and 50 minutes now. We're so far so good. Could be better. But again, you know, we got close to breaking down that lower, those lower highs, or higher lows, excuse me. We got a pump. We need to keep on having that pump. Now we really don't want to break down below this one, and we really don't want to break down below this one. Again, that level is going to be $35,086. We don't want to break down below that, or we're most likely coming back down to like $35,000. Is that terrible? No, but it's terrible for everybody that's buying right now. That's for that's for sure. All right. Anything else really popping off right now? Solana's still up 12%. Arbitrum's up 9%. Arbitrum may come up a little bit more. How's Ethereum Classic doing? No, it's still stalling out. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Matic. Okay, but I really want to see a pop. You know, I just may be a little bit too greedy when it comes to Matic. I'm still going to be holding this for a while. I moved my stop loss up to the 200 daily moving average, which is kind of around 63 cents, which is, I mean, it's still a pretty, you know, if it drops down, it's still 4%. That's quite a bit, but I feel like, you know, if we have one bad day, I'll be out. That's kind of how I figured it out. But if we manage to break it above this, I'm just going to tweak it back up here to 64 cents. I do want to see this pop up, though, really bad. There are certain plays that I have much more money behind than others, and that's definitely one of them. Technically, no matter what happens, I'll make money because the stop loss has been moved up. But, you know, 20-30% is much better than 10%, right? I just hate having this line on the screen because now it just looks like everything's going through it. Let's see. What happens to Bitcoin miners when all the Bitcoin are gone? Honestly, they kind of just disappear. And they sell, their Bitcoin. So, and they become very rich, I assume, at one point, because eventually they believe Bitcoin is going to be worth millions of dollars for Bitcoin. So, I don't have many friends now that do mining, but I used to know quite a few people that were, I want to see like Bitcoin middlemen. So the middlemen between the billionaires and multimillionaires who wanted to buy significant amounts of Bitcoin. Sorry, Loki's over here wanting to get pet risks and everything like that. And then the Bitcoin miners. Well, it's my understanding from the Bitcoin miners that I've talked to in my life that they sell off around like 90% of all of their Bitcoin through like large transactions that are usually lower than the current price of the asset, right? But they also do just take a couple Bitcoin for the side to say, hey, maybe we're in a rainy day and the company needs money, or these Bitcoins go as bonuses to our employees, so they'll get like half a Bitcoin or a quarter of a Bitcoin, something like that. And, it's kind of a bonus for doing all the work, because from what I understand, being a Bitcoin miner kind of sucks for like the grunt individuals. Or maybe they just get paid a flat rate and the people are stingy at the top. It kind of depends on the company. But I assume they just close up shop and they made a bunch of money. They move on to the next best thing. That's all I could assume. They could always transition into mining something else. I think there's another adequate way to go. But I feel like that's going to be up to each individual like board of a proper company that's mining large amounts of cryptocurrencies. And I think as time goes on, you'll probably see them start switching up to other things. Anything that can be mined that has a decent opportunity of going higher in the long run, I think they'll be doing those. Now, does that mean they're going to be going for all these shit tokens and stuff like that? No, but I do think they might actually have a small contingent that does random shit tokens. At least the ones that can be mined. And a lot of tokens can't be mined, as far as I know. And hey, Ray, happy to see you back, man. I'm doing pretty well, thank you. What's the total 3 look like? New money coming, and I can't check. What do you mean by the total 3 right here? Yeah, altcoin season not here. Memes, LOL. Watch the next Pepe is coming out of this month. Hey, in these type of environments where everybody is all of a sudden very happy and not distraught over the current price of the cryptocurrencies, you will see a few tokens pop out of nowhere. Usually, I will only trade them if they're actually on an exchange that I have access to. So I'm usually not going to open up a new exchange account to go get them. You'll start to see buzz around social media. You'll probably have friends that are talking about it. Usually these things come out of Telegram groups and things like that. Always have fun with them, but I would always treat them as less of an investment and more as a gamble. And if you guys go in there with that gambling mentality, like say, hey, before I even start trading this cool meme token that came out of nowhere that's blowing up, let me put aside $100, $500, $1,000, whatever you're willing to lose, and let it go completely to zero, and be like, okay, no matter what happens, I know that I am not going to lose more than this amount. And then when you go in there, you don't double down, you don't do anything crazy. You just buy a position and you wait for it to go up. You can trade with it all you want to, but as long as at the end of the day, no matter what happens, I know I'm only going to lose $100, $500, $1,000. You're much better off. People tend to go way too heavy in those types of tokens, and when they do, that's exactly the moment they crash, because it's at the height of the FOMO. We've all had our sense of FOMO over the past, that's for sure. Hello. All right. Loki wants like 10 seconds of like pet time. I don't know why. He's I don't know why, but he's giving me the googly eyes if he wants pets, and he just wants to play and chew on my hand. The good thing about him is if he bites my hand too hard, and if I just stop moving, he stops biting. Like, just watch. Yeah. And then he doesn't know what to do because I'm not moving my hand. Blah. Alright. Yeah. This is actually a very expensive sweatshirt that I have on, but I guess I could always buy another one if he tries to bite. Ow! Dude, I'm fat. He bites fat a little bit harder than he bites muscle. Yeah. Oh, he did not like me blowing in his face. Hey, no. He was trying to bite off my, my volcanic bead bracelet. I think that's what it's called. I wasn't planning on buying this when I did, but the lady sold it to me, and I was like, you did a pretty good job upselling here, so I'm going to buy it just so your commissions go up a little bit. I think it was like a $40 bracelet, but it's okay. All right, that cool dog wants to party, dude. If I ever have a coin, it'll be Loki coin, but I think somebody already came up with that name. But it'll be like a white German Shepherd on the front of it. He seems to be having a blast right now. I'm about to, ow, dude, stop biting me. I'm about to take him outside here. It's because I keep on playing with him, but if he can't grab my hand, he bites my arm in protest. Hey, stop it. But yeah, he's a pretty chill dog. I need to take him outside and go to the park. We're going to the beach tomorrow, which he'll like. We went to the beach a couple days ago, and he had a blast. He likes to chase the seals. Let's see. And hey, Pro Life, the overall economy is not set for an altcoin season. We need a lot more things to straighten up before I get there. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. This is why I'm kind of confused about why Bitcoin is having this massive surge right now, and how long it can sustain itself. Because maybe with all this news coming out, Bitcoin actually does start going up towards crazy levels. But altcoins in themselves, they can definitely boost, make some larger moves. But I don't know if it's enough to have crazy, stupid money pop in. But I guess there's always stupid, crazy people at the end of a cycle. So, again, altcoins are at very low levels. The safest thing you guys could do to make a lot of money in no set amount of time, I guess, is to start accumulating tokens that you guys like every week or so. It doesn't have to mean you have to put a lot of money behind it, but just dollar cost averaging your positions in a portfolio, it's much easier than trying to buy right now and expect to make $1,000 tomorrow. Now, you could definitely make $1,000 tomorrow if you trade it right, but you know, the easiest way to make money, where you guys that aren't professional traders, the easiest way you guys can do it is just to dollar cost average. And again, right, this is like a little over a month of holding with 2x leverage positions. You know, up 33%, up 30, like 40%, excuse me, up 0%, up 12%, up 30, up 8, up 15, up 48, down 0.5%, up 34, up 20, down 4%, down 15%, down 13%. Sure, there's some positives in there too, but and some negatives, I guess. But you get my point. The easiest way is just to buy and hold for the long term. It's kind of hard to justify starting to buy now, though, which is the hard thing. But in the long term here, it's going to be easier if you just start accumulating long term positions. But not everybody wants to do that, and I completely understand. Hey, no worries, Sean. I appreciate you as well. Remember, guys, I did not have the wealthiest upbringing, but I grew up around a lot of wealthy individuals, so I kind of have a different outlook as far as some of my friends who. Well, I don't really have any more poor friends, I would say. I kind of lost a lot of them when I was learning how to do YouTube, because I was grinding away in my house for so long. But now all of my friends are YouTubers, and or friends from college, which definitely wealthier crowd, or some friends from high school. But I went to private school on a scholarship growing up, and imagine being that kid whose parents made like $20,000 like for the whole year, not a lot, on fixed government income. And then because my mom couldn't work, she's been sick for a long time. Well, she passed recently, but she was sick for a long time. And then you have your high school friends who have, like, their parents have a lake house, a boat, then an extra house, another whole freaking state. They look at money in a whole different way, which is why I say with Bitcoin, when we're kind of like really early to an asset, even though it was around for like a decade now, it's still very early. So the best thing you guys can do is always buy for the long term, and just have different portfolios for different goals. Like I have a friend, he has a portfolio for every decade. So he has a portfolio for that he's not even going to try to sell until the year 2050. And he has a bunch of shit tokens in it. He has some Bitcoin and thing, but he has a lot of shit tokens. So his thing is, if they ever go crazy, crazy, crazy high, then he may consider selling something. But other than that, he's just holding because he expects them to all go thousands and thousands of percents in the future. And he also has one for 2040, 2030. So you guys can, I would have some type of organizational structure. So maybe a Google Sheets thing, or an Excel if you guys pay for Microsoft Office. But, you know, plan for the long term. It's the easiest way to get money here. Plan for the long term, sell the assets, move out of America, and go live in some tropical country that where you can like live for pennies on the dollar. That's my dream. I guess I already have enough money to do that now, but I gotta wait for my sister to finish her freshman or sophomore year of college so she can take a freaking cat, because her cat's not coming with me to wherever I move to, whether it's Bali, El Salvador, or Nicaragua, or wherever. That cat's not moving with me because that cat wants to be with my sister, not me. The cat likes me, but only because I feed her. If my sister was here, that cat would not even give me a second of her time. But I guess that's just cats for you. They're very independent creatures. Yeah, bro, I took profits. You think it's better to buy back with with a market buy or a limit order? Thank you. Typically for me, I tend to just like doing limit orders only. The only time I've really done market orders is if I am like really in a hurry to buy a position for a day trade or a scalp. Usually when it comes to limit orders versus market, I will say 9 times out of 10 I'm going with limit orders. Like here, let's do this very fast. Oh, Matic just broke out. Okay, so let's say Matic just broke out right here. All right, let's go over here to Fairdesk. Do I have a Matic position here? I don't think so. Do they even have Matic on here? I have never even thought about it. They do. Okay, let's go to Matic very fast. So if I do market, you know, and I'm doing a larger position, usually I'll chew up through these walls right here, which is going to be very, very annoying. And so it'll be more than what I kind of want to pay for. So normally I'll just go over here to limit. I'll choose, let's say I want to add a $100 position into Matic. I want to do, this is a long-term play I'm doing right now, but let's just say I want to do 2x. Okay. Or here, we can do, yeah, let's just do $100. 2x leverage. And I want to do, how much is that going to be? I'm only buying 299 Matic, so it actually doesn't matter with this wall here. But if I'm doing like $1,000 position with a 20x leverage, you know, right? That means I'm buying 3,000 Matic, which still doesn't, like, it may blow through that wall, not so much here, but again, that's why I said 1,000, right? That's 30,000 Matic, then I'd be blowing through this wall, this wall, this wall. Typically, you don't have to do anything besides limit orders. And I'd probably be firm on that one. What did I say, $100? So if I go 0.00675, it's gonna be okay. I may even get a cheaper one right here. Let me see. Order submitted. Matic opened up an order right here. It bought it for, yeah, 6673. So even if I did the limit order, it kind of still gave me the cheaper price. So I would still say I'm looking to do more limit orders and not market buys. If you're doing a position like less than the value of like $50,000 or $20,000, let's say $20,000, I think it's fine to do market orders. But when you start getting to larger orders, like you could see yourself actually manipulating the chart in real time. If you do a market order, it'll just have a straight pop, then it'll come all the way back down, and then all of a sudden you realize that you're losing money because your average that you bought in at is something more around the lines of this up here because of the wick you created, and it comes back down here to where the price action was originally, but you have your whole position, but now you just got to wait for it to come back up. Where in other terms, the other side of that is if you do a limit order, you may create another wall on the downward side saying, hey, now the price won't go down below this level until the sell-off happens, and then your position is filled, right? But it may actually just keep on going up and up and up and leave you behind, which is another factor here. But most of the time, like I said, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, limit orders are going to be your best friend. And we'll see how this one does. I hope it goes up a little bit more over the next few days, but it's a $100 position at 2x. I'm not selling this anytime soon. I'm selling this in 2024, late 2024 maybe. We'll see. But again, we have that breakout. That's what I was hoping for, but I have a separate position I told you guys about before. I'm going to sell that one if this continues to pump up here. If it continues to pump up. Not entirely sure. Bitcoin over here driving us nuts because it still doesn't want to go to the new high. It's consolidating again after already breaking 2 new highs, I should say, but, it's a battle between the next 35 minutes to see if we can close above this. Hopefully we can. Let's see right here. My dog does that too. Oh yeah, dog is 2.5 years almost right now, almost 2.5 years. So he's still a pup kind of mentality. And hey, Redbag, unfortunately my mother passed a few weeks ago. I stopped streaming for like a cool 2.5 weeks after it happened. She passed away the first week in October. So sucks a lot, but You know, no more pain and stuff like that, I guess. But yeah, definitely not a fun thing. Let's see. And hey, Sean, for sure, only when you, whatever you are willing to go to that zero and go in with the expectation that will go to zero makes it much easier. Yeah, like for me, that, so, as you guys know, I like to go to Vegas a lot. I'm going to Vegas again in, December. And where am I staying? I'm there for 6 days, which is a long time in a winter. My sister's watching my dog, which is why I get the opportunity to go there. Normally I can't go since, I'd have to put Loki in a kennel or something. I have I'm going to be at Mandalay Bay for 5 nights, 6 days. I'm going to go to the spa a lot and stuff like that. But I am going to gamble. And I like to play table games a lot. Table games. Slots, sure, okay, fun. I play with them every now and again. But table games, definitely the fun thing to do here. There, for me. One of the games I like to play is roulette. But every day, as far as I know, not as far as I know, every day I'd recommend, and this is what I do, and I think it's just kind of the typical thing people should do, is they should have a budget for gambling so they know how much they're willing to lose. Rarely do I ever lose my whole budget for gambling, and like the whole daily gambling budget. But if I did, I would be mad, first of all, sad a little bit afterwards, because I'm like, oh, I want to win in Vegas. But then I'd just be like, okay, let me go out and have some fun at the pool party, or like a pool event, or I go to a club, or I'd go get some fancy dinner or something. Because, you know, and I'd be fine. Usually, depending on the mood I'm in, I have different budgets. But, you know, like if I go to Mandalay Bay, my budget for gambling for the day may be anywhere from $500 to $1,000, which you think about it is actually not a lot. But for me, it's a lot because I don't like to gamble too much. But if I go to, I don't know, like the Golden Gate Casino or one of the casinos on downtown Vegas by Fremont Street, you know, instead of having a $25 to $50 buy-in or whatever you want to call it, minimum, I will only have, I can maybe make $200 go much further than what I could do at Mandalay Bay. You know, kind of all depends. Last time I gambled a lot on a table game, which was roulette. It was at Circa, and that was on Fremont Street, actually. They have a heftier minimums. But I just got done drinking and smoking a few cigars at one of the rooftop lounges, and they kicked me off the outside deck because there was lightning, and I was like, oh, let the lightning strike me. I'm good. I was drunk at the time. Heavily buzzed. But I ended up actually doing pretty well. I played some slots. I won like $1,000 playing slots. It was really, really fun. I was playing Top Dollar. I never played Top Dollar, and it actually made me some good money. I took my money and ran to the roulette table where I lost $500 of that $1,000, and then I just walked away, and I was like, okay, well now I have some nice money for food. I think I went to go get some. Oh no, it was so late I couldn't get much stuff. I went to the bar and drank some more, and I was like, cool. But even when you're drunk, it's nice to still, you know, or when you're kind of in a high emotional state, which I would assume drunkenness too, kind of in a way, where you're not thinking straight just because something's happening in your life, usually drunk or really excited, whatever. It's good to have those minimums, because when you're trading a meme token or something that's going up really high and coming down quite a bit, if you just know how much you're going to lose, it makes everything a lot easier. Whereas if you keep on adding more money into it, you get those, I describe sinking feelings in your stomach, like butterflies in your stomach, where things just get really, really bad, and everybody, like, you just get sadder and sadder and sadder. The first time I broke my gambling limit thing, I felt really sad about it. I was like, damn, dude, fuck. I was like, damn, you know, it wasn't a lot of money, but I was like, damn, dude, yeah, you really fucked up here. And then I just proceeded to fix that by not gambling the next day, because that took away part of my budget for the next day. But I've had friends that I've gone to Vegas before, and like, kid you not, now this was in my earlier days when I was with some college friends. One of my friends like maxed out all of his credit cards and all of his debit cards. I think he only had like one debit card, but maxed everything out. Literally broke within the second day of a 5-day trip. I ended up giving him a few $100s to get by, and he didn't gamble. Well, he gambled a little bit, I think, for the rest of the trip, just to have fun with everybody. But his girlfriend gave him some money as well. You know what I did when I had lost some of my budget for the next day? I lowered my budget for the next day. I still went gambling and had fun, but after my budget was spent, you know what I did? I went to the pool and I chilled out. And I had my $30 drinks at the Palazzo Hotel because they were fucking expensive there. But the Palazzo is a really nice place, so I would recommend anybody like go there. But damn, those drinks are fucking expensive. Degens want short term. Well, hey, Kevin is awake. Let me explain how actually money is made in the cryptocurrency markets, because I think this is actually important for all of you guys to understand. And I've been transparent about this, but it never hurts to be more transparent, I guess, right? So here. So the way this whole system works for the most part is there are lots of influencers out there. Me, Crypto R Us, BitBoy, Tom Crown, I mean, a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of people, right? There's hundreds of people out there that talk about cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. But the way this kind of works is we all make money in different avenues, but one way that most people make money is through getting sponsorships with exchanges. And the reason that everybody gets so hyped up in the first place with all this stuff, and I guess one of the reasons I don't is because I let you guys know this ahead of time. So if I do appear to be super like telling you guys to do all these crazy trades, I'll be like everybody else in a sense. There are a few people that don't do it as much, like Tom doesn't really do it too much. He does kind of live trades and he kind of shows you what he's doing. But the way it works is when you guys use our links and you guys start trading on exchanges, if you guys trade with leverage, you guys pay fees, right? As the influencer, me or anybody else that gets you to sign up for these exchanges, we get a portion of those fees to us, all right? And they vary quite a bit. Smaller influencers maybe only get paid like 20%, 30% commissions. I think the average is 30%. You got people like me in the mid-range. I can get anywhere from 50% to like 60, 70% if I really wanted to like egg them on. And then you got larger influencers like maybe BitBoy that could possibly get up to like 80% commissions on the trading volume. Okay, well, if you think about it, when the market starts to go up quite a bit, right? If I tell all of you guys to start trading like crazy, and a lot of you guys have been using my links, well, that means that a lot of you guys are going to be creating trading volume. And by creating trading volume, you're spending a lot more money on fees because you're more active. And by doing that, I make a shit ton more money, or any influencer would, right? Now, for me, what I've noticed by running, I don't know, it was only like a 2-month test. I've noticed that a lot of you guys will trade on your own without actually an influencer having to tell you, a lot, not all. And so I noticed naturally that even if like, so when my mom passed away a few weeks ago, Bitcoin was still popping off a little bit. My volume and my income from exchanges went up without me even streaming for 2 months because you guys already knew to, like, if you sell a position, that's still volume, right? You guys were hitting your price targets. You guys were buying back in for day trades and stuff like that. I still made money. So I've always been to the viewpoint of, hey, you know, whatever happens, happens. I'll give you guys my opinions, but in no way am I going to tell you guys, buy, like, let's go to the moon type of stuff. Although I don't blame people that do that as long as they're giving you guys, decent trading technicals along with it, perhaps. But the reason you have a lot of people do that is trading volume is a big one for YouTubers. For Twitter people, it just gives them another opportunity to get more followers. I only have 300 and something Twitter followers, so I'm really not that much of a raw guy, but I am trying to get more Twitter followers. So maybe tomorrow when I stream, if Bitcoin's still pumping up, right now we're kind of going more sideways. Perhaps tomorrow I will actually put my Twitter link there instead of my Fairdesk link so you guys can follow me on Twitter. Regardless if you guys watch my tweets, I guess having subscribers is a very big thing for any crypto person to do. And it is nice to kind of post there every now and again instead of posting on YouTube. YouTube really doesn't show my posts to many people. Even if they're informational posts, like, hey, everybody, I won't be streaming tonight. It doesn't really show them to as many people, maybe like 100 people. There's more than 100 people that watch my stream throughout the whole thing. And then Twitter, I guess, does a little bit better job of that, I would say. The only thing that YouTube pushes out are my, or I guess I would say my more controversial quizzes, or not quizzes, polls, where I asked, like today I asked, is inflation an important thing to you right now or something like that, or is inflation important to how you're going to vote in 2024 or something? let me just say what I posted because I'm not entirely sure. They changed up everything on YouTube. Playlist. No, not playlist. Sorry. Community. Right next to it. Yeah. Is inflation too high for you in November 2023? Jesus, 91% said yes. Holy shit. But then, which of these is the most important issue for you? Inflation, prices, healthcare, climate change and environment, jobs and economy, immigration. They push this stuff out way more than me just saying, hey, everybody, I'll be streaming a little bit later than normal tonight, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Like if I do a video, look at this. Nobody saw this right here, and I can see the impressions in my back studio area for YouTube. It did not push this at all. It was like some, an effective scalping strategy that I found that for you guys. So it's very weird. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, Bitcoin's having a small breakdown right now. Hopefully we don't move back down here. What did I tell you guys? We still have to close above this line here, and now we're not. Back over to that 4-hour chart, showing some weakness here. We still have an opportunity to come back up and do it tomorrow, but we're going to have another setup here that actually causes us to have another big pop, which I guess could happen, but we want to see the momentum carry on without this type of sideways action, especially after breaking out. We really want to go a little bit higher. How's everything else doing here? Solana's still up fine. ID token's up a little bit. Arbitrum's still doing fine. Comp is up 4% now. That's nice to see. Comp is one of those things as well where it's trying to break out a little bit more. And this is why I see my Matic play right here. Now after, I guess it didn't have the confirmed breakout yet. We still have to wait to see another hour and 22 minutes. But now after that breakout, now we're even coming back down and giving it back up, which sucks. The good thing about all this stuff though is the way I describe it. There was probably some type of formal way to say what I'm trying to say here, but I just kind of jumble it up when I try to explain it. Once we break a resistance level, it's much easier to break that resistance level again because that wall of sellers there is gone. So now the next time we try to come back in here, it's not going to be nearly as hard unless somebody adds a whole nother block of selling activity there, which is pretty rare. But we'll, of course, we'll keep a closer eye on it. I'm hoping that Bitcoin can still stay strong at this moment in time. You can see that big pop. You can see how we're trying to hold on at this point. Not giving up too much ground here, but, definitely want to see us in the more positive direction. See. And hey, Discount. Sup, Mike? I'm driving home from work. Mind filling me in on Bitcoin action? No more. We didn't have a rate hike today. We had a lot of volatility earlier this morning. That kind of was a massive bull trap where bulls bought in and Bitcoin crashed. Buyers came back in at a level of support. And then from there, we saw a massive Bitcoin rally over a period of about an hour or so, where Bitcoin broke out to a new 2023 high. Okay, and then from there, our new high right now is around it's 35,582, so a little bit higher than before. And now we're just consolidating and going more sideways. Not the most optimistic sideways action I've ever seen, but we haven't given up the gains we've made over the past couple hours at least. So that's the good thing here. But overall, a breakout and some choppiness ahead. Hopefully Bitcoin can continue to show some strength here, but we've broken through the resistance, which I think is the most important thing, as I was kind of alluding to a few minutes ago. But still, you see Bitcoin coming back down here a little bit more than it's not as nice as we want to see it. All right, somebody's asked me a question. Thanks, John. Loki is very, very good. Thoughts on Exxon missing earnings but raising dividend by 6%. So hey, Larry, about that, oil did come down a little bit over the past couple of months, which is kind of surprising. Besides this Israel stuff, it to me it's still a long-term hold, but trading it is going to be much more of a range trade going forward rather than just buying and hoping it's going to go up and up and up. Because oil, even with this Israeli war stuff going on, Israeli Gaza war, it hasn't been going up, which is very surprising. You thought there'd be more of a, I guess the proper word maybe be shock. Like, the whole system would have been shocked with like, uh-oh, what's going on? But I guess the shock is being absorbed by a much weaker economy, or much weaker economies across the world. And I guess that's having much more of an effect than just the shock that we're seeing from the Israel-Gaza conflict. Because at this point, we've had a little bit of harassment from Hezbollah in Lebanon. a little bit of harassment from Yemen, but I haven't seen a regional conflict kind of erupt yet, right? And I don't think many governments really want to get into this right now. The only one that's really itching for a fight seems to be Iran. The Saudis, they're mad and they're kind of go rah rah rah, but they're not really doing anything. Lebanon, a few rockets here or there, then they got bombed. Like, you know, we bombed the shit out of them for a while, and then, you know, or Israeli did. America bombed off some Syrian targets, and then, you know, there's been some more skirmishes, but nothing really. Boom. The only way I see Exxon surging is if the region of the Middle East, poof, goes into some type of wider conflict, which at this point doesn't seem like this. It doesn't seem like many people actually care about what's happening in Palestine. They're doing, they don't care enough to do something about it, right? I don't know if you guys watch multiple news organizations, but there's another news organization out there besides like the CNN and Fox News and stuff like that that we know in America. It's called Al Jazeera. I usually like their topics where they're talking about certain things, but when it comes to the Middle East, they are very, 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 very pro-Palestinian. And so they're scratching their heads and freaking out because, you know, there's all these people saying, no, don't do this, don't attack the Gazans, don't invade Gaza to get rid of Hamas. They're all saying that, you know, on the TVs, and you hear it throughout all the Arab world. But, you know, last time I checked, there's tanks rolling into Gaza as we speak. And none of those Arab countries are doing a thing about it. Maybe some diplomatic side stuff. The UN is trying to do talks, but when's the last time the UN was actually a part of anything meaningful? Let's be frank, right? And so at the end of the day, the Arab countries aren't really doing anything about it. Israel's going forward with their plan. The Palestinians don't really have a large economic impact on the world, and usually countries that don't really have power or economic strength, they're usually not protected by other countries that actually have those type of things, right? Unless there's some type of national security interest. And as far as I know, Egypt doesn't have a national security interest with Israel taking over Gaza, because they already share a large portion of the border with them, of course. Jordan has maybe philosophical differences, but they're not, you know, they're not even close to Gaza as far as where the war is taking place. Hezbollah, they're probably mad about it. They're doing little things, but they're not even launching a larger invasion. And then you got maybe Turkey, a little bit more forceful with the language, but again, not doing anything about it. Nobody wants this to spiral out of control, because if it spirals, let's say Iran really does want to get into this and starts sending over like armies or something. America's going to get involved. It will escalate to a certain degree, and that's where things get shit hit the fan. Shit hits the fan. But I mean, we're just going to be bombing the shit out of Iran. I mean, you know, not much Iranian oil is on the market, but the fear is what's going to cause things to spike. Yeah, I mean, Palestinians really just don't have the support of any real major country to come to their backing. China's not going to really support them. Russia can't even defeat Ukraine. So what are they going to do? I mean, at this point, if Russia sent their army down to Israel, Israel would destroy the entire Russian army, because we see how bad they are. Not much they can do, honestly, not much at all. But because of all that, no escalation. Because of that, again, we've seen that this that oil prices continue to kind of come down here. I would still say I'm a long-term holder. Now, I've had to adjust my portfolio a little bit when it comes to oil. So this is PXD. There's like some buyout rumors and stuff with PXD right now, which is very weird. And so I've shaved some of this off. But historically, this has been a great play, because you go over here to... You go over here to PXD, you got a 5% dividend that's really, really nice. And before that, I guess they probably have to update it now. ZOM over here at 3%, 3.5% dividend. If it's hopping up to 6%, I'm still going to buy and hold for the long term. I'd feel enticed to buy, even if it decides to break down. It'd be a dollar cost average thing, because, you know, there's that certain point of the quarter where the dividends, you have to have a certain position in order to get the dividends. that would be fairly easy to do. But yeah, I'm still buying, but I'm buying for dividends. I'm not buying because I want to do a trade on it. I'm buying because I know in the long term, I still expect this to go higher and higher and higher. I don't expect the world to get better and better and better. Because especially at this point, from a political sense, I don't know if Biden's going to win a re-election or if Trump's going to come back and win an election. I have no idea. But right now, I would say the way everything is kind of geared at this point, it's to try to get Joe Biden to be reelected, right? I'm still adamant that they lied about the recession that happened last year with the 2 negative quarters GDP growth to make it so the government had a better chance of keeping the orange man out of or his people out of the House of Representatives, which I think it actually worked to a certain degree. But again, when you think about it, how do I say this in a very nice way? If we have Joe Biden again, I don't see the foreign policy making anything better, right? As much as I may disagree with like the pompousness of Donald Trump, I guess I focus more on the media now because I did. I'm doing YouTube more, right? I didn't start really doing YouTube until 2021. That was after the 2020 election. When Trump was in office, I know a lot of people, my friends, they hated the guy, and I lived around Seattle, Washington at the time. I still live in Washington now. It's a very liberal place, right? But the way I figured about it is, I go out, I still do my day-to-day stuff, and my day-to-day life wasn't impacted greatly until COVID. Now, I watch the news a lot more. I don't really care about it because I'm watching more economic, financial news like the Bloombergs, the CNBCs, the Fox Businesses, and stuff like that. Yahoo News every now and again, maybe. But now, I go out, I can see the effects of all this shit happening in the world, which I don't like. Those effects, I don't think are going to get better anytime soon. And I don't think even if Donald Trump came back to the presidency, I don't think he's going to be able to fix all the shit that's kind of broken at this point. And I don't even think Biden is like the most terrible thing ever, like you may see on the news and stuff like that. I just don't think his policies have had the intended effects that he thought they would have, right? And especially the oil ones right now, we need to drill, baby, drill. And we need to have some type of long-term contract, like a social contract, whatever, with oil producers saying, hey, we're going to be okay with you guys drilling and drilling and drilling for decades more to come. Something legal and binding, perhaps. I don't know. But I don't see things getting better anytime soon in the world, even if Trump came back. You could see Trump come back and then the recession still start after he came back into office, or we'd still be in a recession, and people would still be ticked off. Think of what happened with Bush, the recession, financial crisis starting with Bush. Obama got into office. It was not Obama's fault that the recession of the financial crisis happened, right? It was probably a combination of Bush and Clinton policies, but I think most of the blame rightfully went to Bush, right? But afterwards, when Obama came in there, his policies didn't fix the problems fast enough, and people got really fucking pissed. I remember those days. I was a kid at those days, but I remember seeing the protests, the riots in the streets, all types of crazy hell going on. I would still say that even if Trump came back into office and we're in a bad economic situation, I don't think he has time to fix everything. I really don't. It takes like a year or so for things to kick in. There was a lot more red tape put in place. And, I guess Trump would probably let the economy heal faster. But still, it wouldn't be nearly as fast and robust as when before COVID happened, I guess I would say, right? So, no matter what happens, we're kind of in this wishy-washy thing. I think it all started, though, back when Afghanistan happened, while we had that really bad withdrawal. Let's just hope we can kind of figure this out. Remember, we have another shutdown coming in 2 weeks. I have no idea if we're going to get that passed. I don't know. The world really isn't in the best spot. But like I put out a video today saying that, hey, I think over the next 6 to 12 months, if you guys are making like above $50,000 and you're like single dude and you don't have a family to take care of and stuff, I think most people above that, 50,000 price range are probably going to be okay. Income range, you're going to be okay. But if you're below that, I think that's where a lot of the pain comes in, and which is why I keep on saying, hey, if you're not making a lot of money right now, just invest a little bit into crypto, let it sit, let it marinate, and when it eventually pops back up, you could at least make a few $1,000. If you're lucky, you can make tens of thousands of dollars. I would say you better be more on the lucky side if you're only investing a teeny bit of money in a week, but still, it matters, right? But yeah, I mean, my outlook for the world isn't really high at this point for the next few years. Remember, 10%, I made another video out today, actually, this is talking about this as well. 10% of 10% of the United States revenue, 10% of our entire revenue is going to paying off the interest of our debts. Not the debt itself to get it lower, but just to pay the interest off of it. So imagine you're making $100,000. Let's say imagine $100,000 because the math is very nice and easy. You're making $100,000, but then every paycheck you take 10% before everything else, and you use that 10% to pay off your credit card interest. That'd really suck, wouldn't it? And imagine that over time it's going to go from 10% to 12% to 15%. How does our government get out of that? I don't think we can. I don't think the American people themselves are fiscally responsible enough to vote in people that can manage the debt. So eventually the bubble is going to pop, and then we'll deal with it however we need to. But big change won't happen until the bubble pops. That makes sense. Because I think the bubble is just going to pop at this point, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to stop it because, if you're a politician running for office, you usually want to promise something. Democrats, I promise you cheaper healthcare. Well, guess what? That's a very expensive thing for the state to undergo unless they find a way to raise taxes. Even if they do find a way to raise taxes, Republicans can come in and say, hey, we want to lower your taxes. And then the voters say, yeah, we don't want to pay higher taxes. Fuck that. And then Republicans get into office, they cut back those taxes, and all of a sudden, deficit comes back in. But both sides are doing what they promised, and they were elected into those positions and they try to fulfill some of those promises. Now, there's like the swampy stuff that both sides do. I think Republicans call them rhinos. Yeah, Republican in name only, and the Democrats have their own like middle people that kind of do all the deals, shady deals and stuff like that. That's usually, I guess, the Nancy Pelosi section, moderates. I don't know what you want to call them. And then you have like the progressives over there on the far left who want to do their type of things as well. They're just like the Republicans that are on the far right. I don't see it ending well, but it's more of a ticking time bomb years out instead of something I see happening sometime next year. So bringing that all the way back around to oil, I still think oil is going to be something very, very good because I don't think we're going to be able to continue doing all the investments into green energy because it is so expensive. And you already saw that kind of have a little bit of a peekaboo moment when the auto workers were striking. They had to have special provisions in there about all this green stuff going in because the manpower needed to make an electronic vehicle is a lot less than a gas-powered vehicle, so to speak, right? So the economy is in a shifting position. Not in a good one, I would say. AI is going to make things a lot easier, but fuck AI is going to mess up a lot of people's jobs at the same time. And, remember that saying, learn to code or whatever it was? Whew, it's going to be, people are going to have money somewhere or another, or they're going to have to be, they're going to be stuck in a certain social class for a long time in their life without hardly any chance of upward mobility. That's going to be the thing that really sucks. It's going to be the lack of mobility. That American dream that everybody hopes for is definitely teetering, I would say. Heck, I'm not even thinking about buying a house right now. I don't think many people are. Like I said before, I was talking to one of my friends, and she said she already gave up on having a house months ago. And I was like, oh, maybe there's somewhere you can afford to buy a house. She's like, yeah, but I want to live in this place, in this town, whatever, and I don't want to move. And so she's like, I've given up on buying a house in this area. And I was like, damn, right? I'm not even thinking about buying a house. I'm thinking of moving to another country and living there for a while. I'll probably move back to America eventually, but I'm probably going to be traveling a lot later in my life. That's what I want to do. But I'm not even 30 yet, so I got time. I got the job I wanted, but have 0 Dogecoin. That's okay. You can dollar cost average into Dogecoin if you want. Let's see. Do I think Gala can ever get back to its all-time high? Yes, but I think it'd be months and months from now, not anytime close, not happening anytime soon. And Ace of B Supreme. Do you think? King. Hold on a second here. Somebody asked me about that. Lux Algo. And I do know Dragon at the hospital waiting the birth of my first child, hoping this moon's for her college fund. I hope so as well. And don't forget, there are other governmental things that you guys can do to have non-taxable savings for your children's college fund. So if you sell Bitcoin at an all-time high event, put it into that fund and then let it cook for a while without having to do all the taxes and stuff. It's nice. Talk to a tax person because I'm not entirely sure the rule of it. There's a special. It's a 5. There's a code that lets you do it. I forget what the code is. I don't have any kids. Somebody just asked about. Hey Redback, the method of scalping. I put out a video a couple days ago. Just watched that one. It goes more in depth than I could actually show you. But it uses a couple indicators on there. 3 indicators: RSI, Watson envelope, and the ATR stop loss. Did I miss that one? See, okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, somebody asked about Lux Algo, and so that's King D, but somebody else also asked about Lux Algo versus Market Cipher. I like Lux Algo a lot. They do sponsor the channel, as you guys can see. They don't actually pay me money to talk about them, but I've been using them for a while. And what I get for free, I guess, from them is the ability to use their premium things for free, which it's nice, but I can always afford it, right? I don't know much about Market Cipher. I've talked to Tom Crown about it a few times before. I think I was almost allowed to use their thing, but the guy that owns Market Cipher, he wanted me to buy the Market Cipher full price, like a lot of money, and only then could I actually have the affiliate link down below, which was kind of stupid. I was like, frankly, I just said fuck off. Why would I pay thousands of dollars in order to promote your product? That's like the stupidest shit I ever heard. Lux Algo, their team is awesome. I really like them because if I ever have a question, they're there to answer it, and they have a really solid Discord community. And actually, a lot of my tutorials are built around their indicators because if you guys are new, which I assume a lot of you guys are, not everybody can afford the premium setup for TradingView. And if you guys can't afford the premium setup with TradingView, that means you guys maybe can't use as many indicators as I do. And so by using some of their free tools or paid tools, you get to do a lot more stuff, if that makes sense. So I would just say it automatically. I like Lux Algo more. The thing about Lux Algo, though, or any indicator that you guys would use out in the real world, I would say pay for it and test it out for a month just to see if you like it. Always understand that you can cancel it, right, after the month is over. But here's what I would say. If you are really going to buy it for a month and you're going to test it, please, oh please, don't try to just learn by yourself how to use the indicators. Go to their YouTube channel to see how they use it. Go to their Discord to ask other people who have the same indicators you do. Go look at other resources. They have these like back-end places. I'm not entirely sure if I know how to actually access this, so bear with me. I have an account with them, but I really am not sure what the account is, so hold on. I don't actually look at the account too much because everything's attached to the TradingView, right? Okay, here it is. Okay, so if you go to Lux Algo, there's a thing called tutorials, and then there's resources. If you go to guides under resources, what is Lux Algo? What is TradingView? Yada yada. But they'll say like there's signals and overlays. This is like the paid one that they have. So this is that would be invite only scripts. Signals and overlays, okay? That'd be this one. So this is a fresh one. You'd have to tweak it and stuff like that. You see the buy signal right here. That worked out. Sell signal just happened a few minutes ago. Sell signal, buy signal. It's not really fixed for Bitcoin right now, but even so, it's still doing okay for some nice opportunities. I would say it's working about like 70% of the time at this point in time. Down, down, up a little bit. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Not as much as I would like it, but that's why you tweak it. So if you paid for it and use that, you could go over again to this guides place. You can see how they have a video on it, but then you can see, hey, what are signal modes, right? Go down even more. There's a lot of shit here, of course. But then, you know, signal settings. A video on that one. Right? And they have warnings here, so you guys have a better understanding of it. This is what I like about them. But if you're not going to read this, don't pay for it, okay? Because I think at the end of the day, if you guys don't learn how to use them, it's probably just going to be a waste of your money. So they're fantastic if you actually take the time to learn how to use them. So really dedicate that first month to learning everything you can about them. And I think they even have... Get 30 days risk-free. Use those first 30 days to learn everything you can and ask away. They have a really good Discord community. Let me see if I can actually find the Discord here. I have links down below if you guys want to use it too. I think you even get a discount up until November. Oh, the discount's off now, actually. The discount just ended today, I think. Here's Luxagos. Right? You can go over here and, you know, library, who is this? Whatever. They're asking. If you ask questions, he'll send you over here. So this is the Explorer Indicator, or Indicator Library, right? And they'll help you out. So they got people, they got a whole staff there to help you, but like bug the shit out of them, because that's their little job, is to help you guys out. Okay, like literally go bug the shit out of them. But yeah, I think I got my point across there. See, and hey, Coolio, happy to see you back, man. Hope you're doing very, very well. See, and hey, bro, I missed your live stream. I was waiting for news for your stream. Yeah, so YouTube doesn't often actually let people know that I'm streaming. It usually takes about a cool 20 minutes after I start streaming for it actually to push my streams out. And that's partly because I have like 5 streams running at once, so it doesn't know which one to prioritize. And also, it doesn't. As long as I've been YouTubing, even or streaming before I put those other streams up, it still takes a while before my stream actually gets viewers. It's the weirdest thing ever. I don't like it, but that's okay. In the middle of the day, I actually understand a little bit more than at night, because in the middle of the day, honestly, my audience is skewed towards the evening time frame, right? Like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock Pacific time, you know, later in the night, Eastern time. Not many of my people will actually watch the streams in the morning hours or maybe right in the afternoons. Right now, it's kind of more of the time where people will be listening to my stream. Let's see. Oh, Orange Man? Oh, yeah, dude, I'm going to call Trump whatever I want to. I'll call Biden whatever I want to. Like, what do you call it? Do you know who I'm talking about? Orange Man, Trump, it doesn't matter. Like, as far as both of them are concerned, like, I'd prefer Trump over Biden at this point. But that's because, like, Biden freaks me out with his cognitive abilities at this point. And his social foreign policy on for Biden kind of freaks me out. But at the same time, I'm not, from my viewpoint, and I've kind of made this frank for a while, I don't believe the federal government can really change too much of my personal life. When they really start fucking with my personal life, that's really when I don't like them as much. So Trump, before COVID, he didn't really have an impact on my life at all. Joe Biden, before like this Afghanistan debacle stuff, where then Putin felt emboldened, he really didn't have an impact on my life. He had an impact on the market, but not really my life, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm more of a local government guy. Like, go vote for your local government politicians. They're going to have much more power over your lives than the people in Washington, D.C. And I think that's just because I literally live in Washington State, which is almost as far away from D.C. as you can get. And so I'm always like, but yeah, I'm going to make fun of everybody. I don't know about Joe Biden, but I think Trump would have a decent sense of humor about this type of stuff. Biden, I don't know. I think Biden might actually have a sense of humor, but the people around him would be furious at me if I called him like Dementia Joe or whatever the other names he has. Yeah, you got Orange Man. I don't know what the nicknames for Joe Biden are really. Yeah, Dementia Joe, I think. Sleepy Joe. Yes, it's Sleepy Joe. Yeah, there it is. Let's see. Paid off my home a few years ago. About 30% of my income goes into investments. Just turned 45 a couple weeks ago and have zero debt. Dude, that is awesome, especially right now. My grandfather and I had a talk with my grandmother, and we were explaining to her that because of the way interest rates have been going up, well, mostly me explaining, she needs to pay off all of her credit card debt as fast as possible, so it just becomes cheaper. And she's one of those people that can actually pay off the debt quite fast. It's not like she has quite a bit of money, retired and all. Because just having that on there doesn't help anybody. Just like pay the debt off, pay the debt off, pay the debt off. My grandmother is one of those ladies who has like a perfect credit card score, like perfect, spotless. And it's like, I would dream of having her credit card score. Like I really would. It gets you anything you want to. Like, as much debt or as much credit as you want, she can afford it all, or she'll be given it all. But I'm like, hey, I know you have all these credit cards, but just pay them off. It's like there's no reason to spend to waste the money at this point. There's no reason to waste the money as far as I'm seeing it. Let's see. NA Crypto GPA, black man, I assume sounds offensive in America? I don't know. See, I'm a guy that likes Dave Chappelle, and a lot of my friends have pretty offensive humor, I would say, in modern times. But like, the people that get offended by the jokes that me and my black friends say aren't usually other black people. They're usually white people that get offended on behalf of black people. So it's kind of weird. It's a cultural thing, I guess. Like, for instance, growing up, or if you look at the local news here in Seattle or Tacoma, I used to watch news with my mom every now and again, and then you would hear a description of some person that broke into a house or robbed some small corner shop or something. Every time they would announce it was an African American who did it, my mom would always be so sad and so mad about it. I was like, nah, that just makes all of us look bad, right? And then, but at the same time, if I put her in front of an old Eddie Murphy stand-up from like the 70s or 80s, where he was saying some really crazy shit from today's standards, she would laugh her ass off. So I don't know. There's always this weird disconnect, I think. But I don't think black man is racist. To me, it's not. But I could definitely see where somebody else takes really a great offense to it. Most of my black friends, all of my black friends, I guess, we're all pretty crazy with the shit we say with each other. Would we say it in public, like blatantly? No, but personally, like to all of us, it's. If I went over to my friend Raheem or Shaquise or Tyler or Jamal or Shaquise's brother Jaquez, something like that, and I just went over and say, "Hey, black man." They would just be like, what the fuck? Like, they would smile and be like, what the fuck are you doing? They wouldn't be like, dude, what the fuck? That was racist. They wouldn't say that. They would like laugh, get a chuckle, and but I guess perhaps if I was white, there'd be another connotation with it, perhaps. I don't know. I don't take culture stuff that seriously, but like all of my friends, like we're pretty, we have different cultural tastes. Like, one of my friends who is Jewish, back in high school, his username on his Xbox was the last Nin Jew, which I thought was hilarious, which he thought was hilarious. But if you asked maybe another Jewish person, another part of the world, somebody having the username on Xbox being the last Nin Jew, maybe they would take great offense to that. But me, I thought it was absolutely funny. And I didn't know there would probably be a backlash to it. There probably would be in today's society, but it's just the way it is. I know Africans that have funny jokes about African Americans. I know African Americans who have funny jokes about Africans. it's more of a joke against the other's culture than the skin tone, I think. But like I said, I'm probably a very my humor is probably not in tune with today's societal standards. Although I still find it funny. Oh, Beijing Biden. Okay, there you go. See, remember, guys, I don't have cable news television. If I want to watch TV, I will stream it online for free with a free software or something, or I will watch it on my phone or something like that. I don't like watch CNBC every minute or every day. If I want to see something, I got YouTube right there on my big old flat screen. I don't even pay for. I pay for internet. I don't even pay for cable. I pay for streaming, but not cable. So I don't actually have access to like watch CNN all the time, or ABC News is something I watch quite a bit of nowadays because they have all these like YouTube streams going on. So if there's something I really need to know about, I'll be like, okay, what's the general gist, and I'll kind of read more about it later on. But yeah, social issues and stuff like that, and cultural issues, I'll find a reason to make fun out of everybody. Like even like I like Ron DeSantis a little bit. Those fucking boots he's wearing right now, I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? You know, I like Ron DeSantis. He seems like a really chill guy, but those boots, I still have to laugh at it. I don't know. I can't change myself to make myself kind of fit, right? I feel like I'm not gonna like everybody 100%, but damn, it's just fun. And hey, Ibra, happy to see you back from Switzerland. Oh, no, I already said hi to you, but I appreciate you the best. Most people probably have 9 to 5s, I'm assuming. Oh, definitely. I would say they're definitely there. And hey, Haram, did you hear about the CEO and devs of SafeMoon? I did. They got charged from the SEC. I can bring that up very fast. It should be the last few posts right here. There you go, right here. Let me just zoom in for you guys. Just in, U.S. government arrests SafeMoon founders John Carney, Kyle Nagy, and Thomas Smith. There was a guy in this YouTube channel that watched the channel like you guys did a couple years ago, back when oh wait, I can do something here. Can I share my profile with you guys? How do I share my, oh no, I just go here, there you go. If you guys can, go follow me on Twitter. If you guys don't have Twitter, don't force yourself to get one on my account, but if you guys can and want to support the channel, follow me on Twitter. The big thing was, there was a guy that used to like praise SafeMoon, and he put a lot of money behind it. We haven't heard from him for a long time, but I know that he was really banking on SafeMoon, so I feel bad for him. But yeah, I'm happy these guys got caught. We haven't had a big arrest type thing from this since like I said before, the Atlas Trading Group on Discord, which was massive. Their accounts all closed now and everything like that. But definitely heard about this one. This was crazy news right here. I wish we had pictures of them, but they definitely are going to jail. I doubt they're going to find a way to sneak out of this one. And hey, Crypto, do I call Obama a black man? I'm just curious. I see a lot of race issues there, and that came from you just surprised me. Oh, no, I don't really refer or talk about Barack Obama too much. Orange man is because Trump has the spray tan on him, not because he's actually orange. But as far as Obama never really comes up in my mind at all. Like, when's the last time I talked about Obama for like as far as like much, maybe in contrast to Trump or Bush in kind of like historical context. Whenever I hear friends and family talk about Obama, it's how he really didn't do much for black folks once he finally got into office. But it's never in a funny context, right? It's always like, damn, like he really fucked us. Yeah, I don't really talk about Obama in a humorous way. I never really noticed much of a sense of humor for him. Like Trump will make me laugh in some of his campaign announcements and stuff like that. Well, I guess as far as I see on Twitter. Joe Biden. Okay, Joe Biden's kind of the old type of person, so I don't really get his humor as well. But he's the current president, so why not poke fun at him, right? Bush was kind of funny, kind of stupid in a couple ways as well. But no, it's like I couldn't find a context to really like say, hey, look at that, you know, Obama the black? I don't know. I couldn't. I mean, saying that out loud is funny, but I know it's just because it's such a bad thing to say. But no, I don't really care about Obama all too much. Black Obama. I don't know. I mean, I could see context in which you could call him that, but like, it's like there are African Americans who are very Bitcoin keep on going, a triple bottom type of thing here, whatever you want to call this breakout. Let's see if we can do it. We didn't break down below, right? We didn't break down that low. How would I say this? Okay, so there are like African Americans who try to get back into their black African roots quite a bit, and so they'll talk in terms of I think white people do this as well, though, right? Caucasians. Now I see it. Now I feel like I'm saying everything wrong. Well, they'd be like, my brother, you know, or my black brother, my black sister. So I've heard that's used a lot in African American communities. But since I don't personally know Obama, I probably wouldn't go over and say my black brother. But I could totally see, who's that guy running for president? The guy with the crazy hair? You guys will know what I'm talking about if I just see his... Cornel West, this guy. Oh, I guess, okay. Let me see if I can get a better picture for you guys. Yeah, that guy. I could totally see that guy going up to Barack and saying my black brother or my black man. I could totally see him saying that. But me, no. There's a lot of cultural things going on. Like, heck, in my immediate life, the cultural spin that I see, the cultural difference that I see is wealthy African Americans who look down on ghetto African Americans. That's the type of like clash happening in the African community that where I live right now. And I'm on the wealthy African American side, and I don't want to live by ghetto African Americans, not because they're black, but because they're ghetto. And you know, last time I lived, there was a lady that lived in my neighborhood a decade ago, and she threw a big house party. It was a very ghetto house party. I didn't like the neighbors. I didn't like anybody. They played their music too loud. And I sound like a fucking old person, but like I work and I needed to have a quiet environment in the middle of the day, right? And then all of a sudden I heard a gunshot, and poof, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening here, right? I heard a gunshot. I went downstairs. I didn't have Loki back in this time. And I just fucking, you know, went into the bathroom and I chilled out, called the cops and be like, hey, there was a gunshot here. All of a sudden, everybody fucking dispersed. Everybody was out of there. And a heartbeat, the whole party was closed and you couldn't even tell there was a party there besides all the trash. Then, you know, there was another time at that place where there was some drunk guy that left the place and started knocking on the door because I was another black person. He thought that I could help him out because I was another black person. I just didn't even open the door. It's a cultural thing. No matter, like, there are subcultures and all these types of things. You're never going to understand it, but the easiest thing is if you truly do insult somebody, just say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. I think it's okay to say sorry in those circumstances, but if then they're going to like overdo it and be like, dude, that was so bad, that was so crazy, I'm going to be like less of I'm sorry and more of just like fuck off and keep on going with my day. You know, be courteous until they fucking piss you off. There's a difference. Crypto GPA, Redman, it's all about the context. Like, I know tons of Native Americans who are racist towards themselves, according to like modern logic. If it's like Redman, like I have a friend who's Native American, and when he gets really drunk, he'd be like, "Pass me the fire water," and like I could never say that because I feel like that might offend him. But that's just out of courtesy. If he's saying it, I'm like, I'm embarrassed on behalf of him. Kind of like how you see a lot of Caucasians embarrassed on behalf of black people. And then, you know, but then you just start laughing and then you're like, you have a fun time. It's all about context. It's all about context and with your friends and stuff like that. You know, it's absolutely insane. And I think that's what's happening as far as like the culture wars in America. Like, we all say some pretty horrible shit, I would assume. Some people don't. But like, as long as nobody I'm with is being completely offended by it or something, you know, should be fine. If they do feel offended, we're friends, so they always kind of bring it up or something, and then I'm like, okay, sure. I guess I really haven't had that happen since like my college days. So, all kind of depends. But yeah, I mean, there's something called like just common sense. Just don't go up to some random dude and call him a red man. Probably not the best thing to do. But if you have a friend and you know he likes that type of like talk and banter because you have a relationship and a friendship, yeah, go for it. But don't do it to some random person. I guess, yeah, you know, when we talk about it, we're all talking about friends and stuff like that. Don't talk about it in terms of random people you meet on the street. That'd be crazy. B Supreme does it, yeah, all about the context, yeah. Life's too short to get upset about someone's skin color. Just be a good person and you're good in my book. I think that's the majority of the way. Like when I first moved to Montana, I was kind of scared of rednecks because I didn't know what the hell was going to happen. And then I got, my friend got his truck stuck in the snow. Some rednecks pulled up, drinking and driving, by the way, pulled us out, gave me a free rein air and says, hey man, happy to meet you. There was no racism there. I did experience racism in Montana, but it's not like, it wasn't even the rednecks. It was just some random gas station attendant at a place called 1,000 Silver Coins. Is that what it's called? Here. Total tangent here, but Bitcoin's still consolidating and we're waiting for that big pop. I think it's in Idaho or Montana. I think it's in Montana. Yeah, this place, okay? 50,000 silver dollars, I guess. They have like a bunch of coins in their place. Pretty cool shop. But they have a casino in the back that has like a Keno thing. Yeah, this area. There was a very racist lady up there. She would not serve me because of the color of my skin. That's more of what like fucking pisses me off, or like I'll be like completely offended by it. But I don't really meet many racists just out there and about. But yeah, this place. Whoa. Like I had to ask my friend Tyler to get my, I won a couple $100. I had to ask him to cash out my ticket because no matter what I did, waved her down, said hello, not talk to me, not acknowledge my presence whatsoever. I gave my ticket to my friend after 10 minutes of trying, not like a few minutes, 10 minutes of trying. And I, you know, I don't want to cause a scene. I don't want to blow up or anything. I'm like, dude, 10 minutes is a lot of time for me, by the way, to actually try to get something done. ADHD and all that good stuff. As soon as he walked up, she ran over and did his ticket for him. About 30 seconds of wait time. Yeah, so what do you call? That's the type of stuff that ticks me off, but rarely do I ever experience that type of stuff. And then if they said something like, you know, the racist stuff or like the different context, then yeah, I would be offended, but it's really rare to come across stuff like that. Very rare to come across stuff like that. GPA means Grandpa Michael. And that showed, oh dude, I love Washington. Washington's so chill. And I can, yeah, BitTorrent here. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Crypto. Oh, well. Not much happening on this chart. There you go, back to the daily. Let's go to the weekly chart here. Okay. So like a lot of other things out here, it has been running up against some levels of resistance. Right now it looks to be that 50-week moving average. Though I will say it kind of reminds me a little bit of what's happening right here, right? I think this is something that kind of reminds me of Dogecoin, where I'm not looking for it to have a huge rally in the immediate like 1 to 2 days. But I do think if you kind of look back at this 2 weeks from now, you'll see that we've broken above this 5.8 level. I'm just not going to say all the zeros. And then we're probably looking at this 0.78 level, which from here is probably going to be a decent level of return. So let's see, we're right here. That's 40% right here. Up here is around 63%. I think it can make that journey over the next few weeks. At least I would say back up here to around the 5.8 level, okay? It may take another month or so to get back up here if Bitcoin continues to surge. But at this point, just be careful with it. I stopped adding to this, I told you guys a long time ago, because of this damn restructuring they did. I don't know what you want to call it. But it looks really nasty now on even the Binance charts, for heaven's sakes. But yeah, it still looks pretty bullish in the short term here. Depending on what your average is, I'd probably just be waiting a little bit longer than that anyway for some type of a bull market to come back up. but this has not been doing the best since they did that restructure thing back in what, January of 2022. So at the beginning of this year, definitely been coming down a lot. It almost kind of reminds me of an ICP. I would hold this for a long period of time, but swing trading, I don't think you're swing trading on this, but the swing trading would probably be a little bit more of a, stay away from it here. Now, going back over here to the daily chart, I know the technicals are going to be a little bit more difficult to do. They tend to be at this point. Oh, that's not what I want, the extensions. Right, we already hit that level. Back up here, 6-1. It's going to be a minute here before we reach that. But perhaps, again, let's say we found the bottom today, maybe. You know, we still have more room to go. I'd be expecting somewhere closer to the 6-4 level again. Not all the way up to the high, but kind of in that middle range right there. I think that's going to be okay. I just wish it would give us a better chart to look at, because honestly, these little things are just really fucking annoying to look at. Oh, did it bump up again? Let's see. No, it hasn't gone back up again, but at least we're seeing it. We've got a half an hour, a little over a half an hour, and we're still trying to close above it. I'll take that off for now, just because I want to see if we can manage to break out one more time. Not entirely sure if this breakout's going to be anything meaningful, but at least it shows we're still making some progress here. Otherwise, you're going to see people trying to short it back down from that level of resistance. There we go. Also, consolidation, a continuation pattern. Hopefully, we continue to move up higher. Elon is African American since he is from South Africa, even though he is from white. I mean, I guess, yeah. We don't really associate it with white people, but you could say it, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem. I'm sure somebody would have a problem, though. Like, I don't deal with cultural stuff on a daily basis. I've kind of, like, the people that talk about that stuff without, like, that aren't curious, but more of the protester kind of class of people, they're usually not my type of friends, because I'll do something to offend them in a heartbeat. And I don't like people getting sad or mad or emotional on my behalf. For instance, like, it comes from a good spot in some cases. Like, I was, when I was living downtown Tacoma with that place that had the really nice waterfront view, I was going to get my daily groceries, because I did it as an exercise routine, going to get groceries every single day. And I was getting my daily salami cuts for a nice sandwich. So I was getting some, like, in this circumstance, I was getting, I think it was like ham. Blazing buffalo chicken breast sliced up for a sandwich that I was going to have. And some other stuff. This lady came over to me, and she, like, apologized for everything bad that white people did against black people. And then she started crying about it. And I didn't know what to do. Like, that made me feel super uncomfortable. But I knew it came from a good place, so I didn't, like, say anything negative to her, but I was like, oh, okay, thank you. And, her husband kind of, like, walked her away, and he was like, so sorry. And I was like, oh, it's okay. And I just kind of went on to my day. But there are freaking awkward circumstances like that, and I don't like to be in an awkward circumstance. So, there's a whole bunch of weird stuff that happens in a life. Let's see. Oh, no racism. I know people can be racist towards white people, but I don't really see it in my day-to-day life. I'm sure if you watch the news, though, you probably find quite a bit of it. Heck, I don't know. Disney's doing some wacky stuff right now with, like, racism and swapping, and I don't like Disney right now because of what they're doing. And, like, I'm all for actually putting African Americans in movies. I'm totally fine for that. Like, it's a normal thing to do. But, like, if you're going to replace some white person with an African American just because they're African American, please, for heaven's sakes, put some good writers behind them to make them have an awesome story. I feel like they make African Americans look so bad right now by putting them in these movies and giving them shitty scripts. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, blah. Yeah. If I wanted to, I could totally run some type of cultural war channel here, but I feel like I'd be totally banned from YouTube for some of the shit I would say. But it'd be fun while it lasts, that's for sure. Let's see. It was Jerry from Manta. He would say SafeMoon was the new silver. He erased all of his videos on YouTube. Ooh, yeah. See, you got to be careful, guys. There's a reason why I don't pump up tokens and say buy, buy, buy. I will clearly let you guys know what I'm looking at. I think every influencer has something that they really want to talk about. Like for me, my long-term play is STMX. But I'm not going out there saying STMX is the new gold standard. It's going to hit $50,000 by the end of next year. You have to buy now or you guys are going to be poor forever. Like, I feel like there'd be an influencer that says exactly that, but like in the context of like buy it. And yeah. I feel like, didn't even like BitBoy and all this Hitman, all of this like channel drama, didn't everybody just say that back in the day? I don't think they got in much trouble. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really follow the BitBoy saga here, but I mean, even what's BitBoy's? I follow BitBoy now, I'm pretty sure, right? BitBoy. So this is BitBoy Crypto. They stopped posting August after they had that big blow up. But what's the what's BitBoy's real name? Guys, what's BitBoy's real name? I'm not entirely sure. Armstrong. Ben Armstrong. There you go, Ben Armstrong. See, my searches include C-SPAN of all things. Okay, Ben Armstrong. I think he's the only one growing at a fast pace right now because he had to have that new channel. Yeah, see, he's had a big boost since he started, but his subscribers, subscribers are down 85% from the last 30 days. So he's getting about 100 to 200 subscribers a day, sometimes 700, which isn't bad. But I mean, in order to get these subscribers, he's had to get arrested, had to cause a lot of drama, do a lot of crazy shit, and invest a lot of money, which I'm not investing no shitty money on this type of stuff. Not this type of stuff, but you know what I'm talking about. A lot. Then you compare it to somebody like me, who just kind of talks and does videos kind of when I can. I'm still getting 100, 200 subscribers a day. Still less than I do as last month, though. But what do you call, how do I say it? It's, a lot of drama. A lot of drama. Let's just keep it there. A lot of drama. Bitcoin's still doing okay, everybody, though. Consolidating. I thought we might have a breakdown, but no, we are staying strong. And a crypto GPA. Thank you for the super chat, first of all. Any chance checking out Solana for me? I'd love to hear your thoughts on the lower time frames. Where do you see a pullback happening? Yeah, sure. If I could find it. I just had it here a second ago. There it is. Okay. Well, there's one pullback right there on the 5-minute chart of the the 200. Moving averages are going to be my first big bet here. If you're looking at the lower time frames of 5 minute, 15 minutes. Now 15 minutes. I would say your next big bet is probably going to be around here on $40. It says $39.89. I'd probably be happy to buy anywhere between $40.50 and $39. The issue here is because it already did pop up so much, you have to zoom out just a little bit naturally, and you kind of have to see. You're probably going to have a pretty considerable level of consolidation happening for the next 20 hours or so. So if you wanted to do one level buy-in, you could go over here to the 15-minute chart, and you could say, hey, maybe I want to start looking at some support levels really around, you know, kind of around here, that first level. Personally, I might say it might be easier to come back down here towards the $39 to $40 level. That's kind of my sweet spot. If you wanted to do a smaller buy-in right now, in case it does start to get away from you and it starts to just curl back up and maybe some type of, I guess it wouldn't be a cup and handle right now because of this type of pop, but you're hoping for it to come back up a little bit more, or if it, again, kind of went out of your control, I would say you could, but I would say I would kind of hope for this next level to come back down to anywhere between $39 and $40. Again, 40 to 41, okay, you could go for that. I would expect more of a pullback here because of the pop we've been seeing. And again, you kind of see this. That thing is going up crazy. Normally, the way I would approach these types of positions is I would wait for these consolidations like right here. This is where I'd be buying and this is where I'd be scaling out. If you're going to be buying right now for something more of a day trade, that's what I think would be, something more of a day trade, not so much of a longer term play. And that would be, again, back around here. You can even actually see 38, but again, 39 to 40 be okay. If you wanted to have an extra position that if it kind of went down a little bit further, sure. 1 hour chart, it's bouncing off the 20 here. I guess that next block can come kind of around $37 or so. Yeah, I would still look to buy in between $38 and $39 right now. I know it's not the 15 or 5 minute charts, but it seems like it's a little bit easier for here. I mean, you could see this thing dropping in real time right now. Is Bitcoin doing anything dropping right now? Nope, still consolidating. Maybe we'll have another freaking half an hour or so before it has that larger move, but let's go back up here to Solana. Why do I keep losing Solana in this thing? There we go. Oh, it's because it's below Leo. But yeah, I could definitely see on a 5 minute chart, death cross approaching. I could definitely see a little bit more of a deeper cut here. 15 minute chart already broke down below there. Yeah. 38, 39. That'd be my opportunity to start buying back in. If you're going to be buying around 38, my stop loss would be around 37, maybe even 37 and a half to be frank. But the way I would approach it is not necessarily just to buy the dip. I would try, unless you want to do, here's another way to think about it. I would wait for it to really start consolidating, and that means the momentum is slowed down enough where you can feel more confident about it, which means all I would do in this situation is just tell you to add on a MACD onto your chart, and by adding on a MACD, you can really see the way the momentum is shifting. So let me do this very fast. We don't need to add the extra lag on here because it is a 15-minute chart. I was just about to add the lag when I said that we don't need to add the lag. I want you guys to be able to see this maybe a little bit more clearly. All right, momentum is still going down quite a bit, still looking down. Perhaps when you start seeing a little bit more of a crossover on this, that's the type of play. I would say you're most likely looking at a day trade though, and not a swing trade that you're going to be holding for more than 24 hours or so, okay? If you want to be looking at something a little bit longer, you're going to want to see a multi-day consolidation from which we pop coming out of that, okay? But during that consolidation where we're not falling down anymore, then I would say, okay, then you can feel more confident about actually having a buy-in there with a 2 to 5% stop loss, really kind of giving you a wide range of freedom to kind of pick your risk tolerance there, and then just letting it go. But right now, looking pretty bearish. The 2 hour is probably about to cross over here as well. No, we haven't crossed over yet. Oh yeah, you're seeing that change of character right here. But if we start breaking down below $40, we can definitely come down a little bit more than that. So again, to the $38 range or so. 4 hours, nothing yet. Everything's still kind of going up in there. The 1 hour is about to cross over here. There was a crossover there. That didn't really do much here. You just saw the momentum kind of go sideways. Yeah, I would still say $38, $39 is where I would personally start looking to buy in here. And again, that's something I'd be holding for maybe a few hours at most, waiting for that consolidation there, and then pop. The easiest thing is just to wait for the consolidation, buy when things are going more sideways, and then you'll feel more excited when everything goes up. And if there's a sudden dump, let's say Bitcoin crashes tomorrow, something like that, there's a sudden dump, don't probably buy Solana while Bitcoin is dumping unless you see it consolidate and do something separate, okay? Because Solana is one of those things that's been pumping up quite a bit. So when you see stuff like that, definitely got to be a little bit more hesitant, more careful, because the volatility is going to mean that your stop losses are going to be a little bit more crazy as well. But there's so much upside and so much downside, you know, you got to have you got to pick your poison there. Let's see. Oh, and I see your other message right here. Thoughts on Sol short term? I just opened a 25 long on the 5 minutes, bouncing off the 200. I hope to ride it to 48.2. Okay, so for Solana, Let me add that context in here as well. Okay. If you're riding that wave over here for Solana and your goal is to 48.2, I would say make sure you have your stop loss kind of set up for where the 200 is currently. That way, if it decides to keep breaking down, you're going to be okay. Okay. And then shift over here to the 15-minute chart and just notice that we've already broken down below that that 50 here. And we have, I would say, a few more hours before we have to really start dealing with the 200 here on the 15-minute chart. I'd be looking at is this no react? I just shrink it. Wild times. Okay, that's yeah, should be okay. The good thing is we're kind of breaking out of the situation right now, so we're kind of outside the Watson envelope. Usually we try to stay within a certain level of volatility. Now we did have some news. We did have some action here today, but usually once you break out of these, if you wait a little bit, usually we continue to pop back up here, right? So there's a buy signal right here, a sell signal right here, a short signal right here, so to speak. A short signal here that did not work. I guess that was kind of a big pop. Last time I made a buy signal before that was it's been a minute. Yeah, I've had to really stretch this out because of all the volatility we're seeing right now. But yeah, I would make sure you have a tight stop loss there just in case it doesn't work out. But again, going back over to the 5-minute chart, you're seeing this buy signal right here. Yeah, and hopefully the MACD kind of smooths out pretty soon. When that crossover happens, I think you could get back up. But 48 for now is a little bit more than a scalp. I'd say that's more of a hefty day trade. You said 48.2, yeah. I would have more of a price target of around like 42.5, but that's my scalp mindset. If you're going to be buying right now and hoping for something longer term, I think I would probably break back down below that 200 before it eventually goes back up to that 48, if that makes sense. So we'll keep a close eye on it though, because I want to see how it does. Solana has definitely been pumping. I think actually Ben Armstrong has been actually talking about Solana as well. I think he's been calling himself the Sultan of Solana or something like that. Ben Armstrong has this new alias on socials. Yeah, I mean it's been interesting to watch him kind of like have that falling out with his team, then make something new, and then I don't know what's happened to Here, this is mine. So BitBoy Crypto. No, this is not it. BitBoy Crypto. Discover Crypto is what it's called now. So if I go over here and I copy their actual username, and I go back over here and enter it in. Oh, right here it is. Right? They've lost 10,000 subscribers over the last 30 days because they haven't necessarily been doing... You know how when you have these debacles, usually there's somebody that looks better off or somebody that looks good and the other person looks bad? They both look bad, right? But Ben is starting from zero, so there's only up to go. These guys are starting off so high that there's only really downward to go with all this drama. But look at it. They've had 600,000 views in the last 30 days. All right, their views are down 41% in the last 30 days. Do you know that it's been Bitcoin has been blowing up for the last month? Their views should be on fire, but yet they have 600,000 views. Again, then you go back to me. I have 558,000 views, and I don't have over 1 million subscribers. I have 80,000 subscribers. So these guys are really just in a pickle. I mean, they're really in a pickle. Like 10,000 people lost. That is amazing. That is crazy. And then again, you go back over here to Discover Crypto. Maybe they're not posting as much. Maybe something happened. Okay, let's look at the website. No, they posted 22 hours ago. A day here, 3 days here. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if I go to most popular, they're probably gonna solve it. Yeah, Ben's videos are still on here too, right? Yeah, all the best videos are all of Ben. I mean, fucking, he looks like Keith Lee here with his food. But yeah, all the stuff that they've been doing recently, 3,000 views, that's not really a good amount. So people have really lost faith with them because it's not BitBoy. When they subscribed to this channel initially, they wanted to see BitBoy crypto. Now they're not seeing BitBoy crypto. Now they're seeing whoever these people are. I don't know who they are. Frankie Candles, Hit Network, Blockchain Basement. I don't know who these people are. I mean, I'm sure the people that follow this stuff around probably know who they are, but I don't. I mean, I would say, like, this Frankie Candles guy, he might be getting more views. He has 54,000 subscribers. He might actually be getting some people watching him. Oh, I got rid of the other thing, didn't I? Maybe because he's not working so much with BitBoy, maybe he's focusing more on his own channel, perhaps? Yeah, see, he's earned 800 subscribers last 32 days. His views are up 18%. He's getting a few hundred subscribers a month. That's not terrible, especially for a smaller channel. But, you know, it's a lot of carnage going around. BitBoy. Oh, we're gonna have a breakout. Let me get rid of this Watson envelope. Bitcoin could break out again. Here we go. Come on. 1 minute chart. Come on. Come on. Let's just have a breakout here. That's all we're looking for. All we're looking for is a nice breakout at this point. I feel it's staying alpha's YouTube since he was investing a lot of money in NFTs. Now he lost a lot of money. The guy is decent, but he got bad luck in NFT. Well, I don't know. I've always told you guys I like the concept of NFTs, but it's usually been the infrastructure behind them which I see the monetary investment being fruitful. I can never wrap my hands around why I should buy an NFT. I just never wrap my hand on it. I didn't know why. And so, yeah, I could just never wrap my head around it. I would still say the same thing. Don't go all in on something. It could be very painful if it doesn't work out. No matter how bullish you are on it, just don't. Have a backup plan, right? But yeah, I still don't understand NFTs all too well. I went to an NFT Seattle event. It was really fun, really cool. I met a whole bunch of people while I was there. But at the same time, I did not end up buying NFTs based off of what I heard at that conference. Yeah, I like the infrastructure behind NFTs, not so much the NFTs themselves. Maybe you could say similar things maybe about cryptocurrencies and stuff, but at least, you know, cryptocurrencies, you know, you can trade them. You can trade them with leverage and stuff like that. I don't know if you can trade NFTs with leverage. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, if you wanted to trade NFTs, I would do them much more as a longer term investment. So I'd buy some type of cheap ape token, and then I would sell said ape token when Bitcoin's close to an all-time high. And then I would just take my money and run, and I would feel no attachment to that NFT whatsoever. Whatever cool drawing was there. So, you know, as we kind of wait for Bitcoin to break out here, because I think it is going to break out here in a couple seconds, let's go over here to OpenSea. Now, I'm still not really proficient at using this website, but I know they have, if I type in ape, it should come up with ape people, right? Yeah. Oh, I don't have to type for it. Oh, the Trump digital trading cards. That one would have been a nice one to actually get an investment for, just because I never got one in the political realm. I think it would have been pretty fun to try that out. Like if every president had an NFT, I'd buy everyone's. It'd be Joe Biden, Trump, Obama. I'd buy that just as a hobby if they weren't expensive. If they were expensive, I'd give them the flat fucking middle finger. Let's see, price low to high. Okay, so The lowest one right now is 30 Ethereum. So that's a fuck off for that one. I value my Ethereum more than I like whatever the fuck that is. Trending. Oh, okay, here's something. These are trending ones. The world of women is a collection of 10,000 NFTs. I usually am hesitant to donate money to like cultural things because usually they usually are scams. But let's hope this one isn't a scam. Head of strategic accounts. Okay, but here it's a cheap one, so I actually don't feel as bad about it. So okay, so view items. Heck, they got such a big front page. They probably made this with help of there you go, 0.72 Ethereum, right? So you could buy this, and hopefully over time it goes higher. So it was bought for 0.39 Ethereum. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's been sold quite a few times. How do I? Oh, this person is selling a bunch of stuff. Okay, how do you track this shit? Okay, here we go. It was transferred 15 days ago. Oh, shit, I gotta go. Okay. 2 years ago, it was made. It was sold for 0.39 Ethereum. And then somebody bought it, I guess, for 1.2 Ethereum. Then somebody else bought it for 6.9 Ethereum. Wow, that's 2 years ago. Then 7.9 Ethereum, right? And then all of a sudden, 16 days ago, it was finally bought for 0.69 Ethereum. So some poor guy spent like 8 Ethereum on it and had to sell it for 0.69 Ethereum. What a great 2-year investment, everybody. I mean, it's kind of wild. Looks like maybe somebody else bought it here, another sale, for even less. So for a little bit more, then somebody flipped it again. Yeah, wow. Maybe they have more expensive ones or so. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have NFTs, but I made my NFTs. Oh, fuck, I don't know how to log in. It's probably through Coinbase or something, but yeah. Bitcoin hasn't broken out, but Bitcoin's just about to break out here, folks. I can't guarantee it, but I can say I think it is. Did he get his Lambo back? I have not heard so as of yet. I think he still doesn't have his Lambo, but if anybody knows, let me know. Thanks, Swifter GPA, and I appreciate the super chat as well. Sorry guys, I'm totally missing something out. Keith Lee fans? Oh yeah, I love Keith Lee, man. He's awesome. What I love about Keith Lee is his ability to have that nice editing where it's not even fancy editing, but they just zoom in on his head closely, and it fits that need to keep people like entertained. Like, I need to work on my editing skills when it comes to YouTube, which is what I'm doing now, which is why if you guys haven't seen my new thumbnails here on my YouTube channel, they're getting much more different. I still need to work on my editing, don't get me wrong, I really do. But you see the latest videos I did? Right, these 3 right here, and this is my, oh, here's the scalping strategy. So if any of you guys want to watch this after I'm done streaming today, it's like 9 views an hour, which is awesome because sometimes they go from like 9 views an hour and they start getting thousands of views an hour. YouTube doesn't push up my content rapidly. It takes like literally a month for YouTube to get my video out there, which sucks, but I've gotten used to it. But then you see, thumbnails like this. What do you call it? They're much better thumbnails than I had before. I was kind of experimenting over the last few weeks, and I kind of found one that seems to work okay. And then I'm trying to make these into more finance guru type thumbnails. Not because I'm necessarily a finance guru, but more because of they get clicks. And if they do get a click, YouTube will promote the video more often. So if you guys ever see one of my videos, just click on it, and then it helps me out. All right. They're also on Cardano. Oh, okay, yeah. NFTs were kind of a trading coin season. You just had to get out before the volume day. That's what it seems like. Again, I'm like somebody was already correcting me in the comments, and I thank you for correcting me about the NFT stuff because I don't know. I never got into NFTs. The most I've talked about NFTs, I think, is when I went to the NFT conference and I did a couple of videos on it because I was like, oh, this is actually pretty interesting. And then the second thing was, when the Trump NFT cards came out, because I was very interested to see what might happen during that type of event. So let me go back over here. These Trump ones. I don't think these have been making a lot of money. At least I don't think they would be. But yeah, this is trading for 0.12 Ethereum. that's something where I'm like, okay, maybe I could buy it or something. But I'd really want it to look cool. I don't want to look at some shitty one. These all look pretty shitty, to be honest. Price high to low. What the expensive ones look like. I don't know if you guys can see this one, but I think it's hilarious. Look at that. Look at that price. Look at that price. That's something that Trump would buy just to be like, okay, cool. But like, look at that. The next most expensive is 4,724 Ethereum. If I was buying one of these ones, okay, that's what I would do. I'd buy one that was very low, okay, for like 0.124 Ethereum, whatever. And then I would literally just max it out and then just hold it forever. And if somebody ever wanted to buy it in the future, they could. If they didn't, that's totally fine too. Okay? But I'm not going to buy one for 333,000 Matic or 98 Ethereum. No. Right. But if I got a cheap one and then just 100 Ethereum, nice even 100, and just see what happens afterwards, I would die laughing. Okay, now we got to consolidate a little bit longer though. This sucks. Hopefully we can still break out. But what do you call it? That's something I would do. And it wouldn't just be the Trump ones, it'd be any of them. But again, the same pattern. You have to buy one at a very cheap price, just list it for a higher price and see what happens. It's just, as soon as I bought it, I would see it as a lost investment. And then from there, okay, stop playing around. And then from there, just see where it went. I do think a lot of NFT collections have pretty much bottomed out, though. I could see that, especially if Bitcoin, people believe Bitcoin's bottom out, NFT should bottom out at the same time because of the way they're valued as cryptocurrencies. And hey, Larry, do I have a YouTube channel under an LLC or a corporation? Yes, I sure do. It's only to protect me from legal action, apparently, but yeah, it's there. I watch Frankie. I wouldn't say I agree with the way he does his TA. He knows enough to get by. I would imagine he appeals to the younger audiences. I should watch him, to be honest. I haven't really watched him before. I like the aesthetics of his channel. Yeah, I like the way he see how he has all these nice lights and stuff like that? He's invested a lot in his studio. He invested a lot into his thumbnails. Right, so he pays for his thumbnails. I don't pay for my thumbnails. I just make them. Although I do have a person. If I need something complicated, I can do that. But you can see how, his thumbnails look pretty nice. Very bright and poppy. I could technically do this, but my thumbnails take like maybe 5 to 10 minutes to make. I really am not the type of person that wants to spend hours and hours and hours a day working on YouTube. I guess I could in the future, but like for me, it's like I do my work, I do my YouTube stuff, and sometimes I'm working for multiple hours. But if I'm working for multiple hours, it's not on the aesthetical stuff. It's just like, hey, I'm making a video now. I'm learning how to edit. So as I'm learning how to edit, of course, it takes a long time to practice and make things work right. Luckily, I have a very nice computer that can handle all that type of stuff, but it can be complicated, right? Come on, Bitcoin. Oh, here's the 5-minute chart in case you guys want to see what's going on right now. A little bit of a different viewpoint here. Just waiting to see if Bitcoin can actually have that breakout. There we go. Make sure that looks okay. Yeah, it still looks okay. We might have to do one last dip and rip. I hope not, but, whatever. It's fine. Let's see. How's that Matic position? Matic is only up 0.68%. So ever since that breakout, Matic has not been doing anything here. It's not even up 0.5%. Is where, we're at 2x leverage here. Anything else that we bought the last few days, those are still down. Mostly everything's still up, though. That's fine. Let's get this. I'm cleaning out a lot of my stuff that I don't need to be talking about right now. We can keep coinmarketcam.com. Get out of Frankie Candles. Get out of Cornell West. Bitcoin year to date is up 114%. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Come on, let's have a breakout. It looks so weird watching this on the 1-minute chart because we can't actually see the whole pennant here, but I really want to see us break out. see. There you go. Okay. This might be it. I had to change the title of the video to say Bitcoin may be breaking out a second time today. Stop toying with our emotions here. We're all waiting for this little next breakout. Though I guess I should actually add that red resistance level back up here. Ooh, why did that not hit? Excuse me. There we go. All right, 1 minute chart. Come on. We're waiting for it patiently. This is how a breakout should be. There we go. Now just, there we go. Here. Finally. Okay, let's go to the 1 second chart. We did have that breakout, so let's see if we go a little bit further here. And hey, Monster, happy to see you and thank you very much. I do enjoy the work I do for YouTube. I do enjoy it quite a bit. I need Matic to get over my 78.6 average. Dude, everybody needs Matic to go up. At least it's not too far away. Imagine getting Matic, you know, way at those highs. Oh my God. Do I pay myself in salary or dividend because dividend is cheaper on the taxes? I pay myself a salary. It's not really a lot because I don't really put my YouTube channel as how do I say it? It's not my YouTube channel doesn't really make a lot of money, right? And so I haven't had that need. I guess I can always adjust it in the future. But for the most part, it's just kind of a base salary of a few $100 a week. Trading is much more profitable. I can't, like I said before, I can't live off of YouTube income. I mean, maybe one day. I mean, during a bull market cycle, of course I can live off of it because I'm getting sponsorship deals and everything like that. But like the sponsors that you guys see on my channel, like right now, there's Lux Algo up there, and thank you for subscribing. Lux Algo, Fairdesk, whatever else is going to be popping up. Whalestream. Whalestream doesn't pay me. Lux Algo doesn't pay me. Fairdesk pays me. They pay me with the commissions, and then they gave me the flat fee of like $1,200 a month to talk about them with you guys and stuff like that. So you got that $1,200. Then you got the commissions, which maybe another $1,000, and then you also got YouTube, which is like another $1,000, $1,200. That's not enough to live off of for me personally. But I think if I ever got my channel into something more of a larger business, maybe I would go more down the dividend route, because then I'd be using my channel as a vehicle to pay for everything, like travel expenses and things like that. Like let's say I want to go down to California for the weekend to go talk to some of my friends that make NFTs or something. I'd pay for that ticket all with my work card and everything like that and be fine. Sometimes what I make in a month for YouTube won't cover a work trip for me, so I just, you know, pay for it out of pocket and stuff. But if it was more profitable, yeah, I probably would be going down the dividend route. But as far as salary, I don't know, that's just my accountant recommended. To be frank. But yeah, it seems kind of because cryptocurrency in itself is already kind of a weird business model apparently for these guys, and the way they try to justify what's taxable and what's not, it's weird because this channel earns money in so many different ways, right? So it earns money from affiliate links down below, right? It earns money from my YouTube channel ads. It earns money. Oh, we can go back to the 1 minute chart. There we go. All right, there's that little breakout, little consolidation before we go off too. There we go. Yeah, it makes money in a lot of teeny different ways. It's not like there's one whole big pot at the end of the tunnel when I like add everything up, but it's money. And I think let me see. Let's say the channel made like $3,000 last month. $3,000 divided by 160 hours worked a month. That's like getting paid $18.75 an hour. I mean, some people would actually probably like that compared to like maybe what they make. But you know, I'm used to working like, you know, $40, $50 an hour back in corporate America. So it's not, you know, it's like half of what I would normally like. Plus you think of all the taxes and everything afterwards. Ugh. But yeah. Heck, remember I told you guys my first job that I ever had was back when I was living in Montana in college, and I got paid $8 an hour at that job. So I was like over double what I got paid back when I was younger. I don't know. I like the fact that in some respects I hated that I was working for $8 an hour. I really do. But in other respects, I am like I'm happy I can go out and explain to somebody like, hey, I was actually making $8 an hour at one point. It was shit, but now look how much money I make. You know, it makes for a good story. It makes for a good story. Do I trade under an LLC? No, I've never found the use for it. Maybe I'll ask my tax accountant about that one time. Hey boy. But I haven't had a reason to do anything like that. Maybe I should. I don't know. Last time I checked, they really didn't have a plan for cryptocurrencies, so I haven't asked about something like that in a long time. When I first made my LLC for YouTube, they didn't even know how to tax cryptocurrencies. I asked them 1,000 times. They had to have me call this person, then this person, this person. Eventually, they just threw their hands up in the air and said, "Hey, we're going to tax whatever ends up in your bank account when it comes to cryptocurrency until there's some rules kind of around it." Now there's rules around it, but even still, the government has no idea, guys, how much money you guys are making off of cryptocurrency. No idea. They know how much money gets added into your bank account. So if that number gets like really crazy and they're like, what the hell's going on here? Then they do an audit. Then they investigate. Then they're like, hey, dude, you owe us taxes. But what do you call? For most people out there, they have no idea. They have no idea what's in your how much money you hold on a Fairdesk or a Binance. No idea. If you have a very large amount of money, if you're like a millionaire and you have millions of dollars in there, or a billionaire, you've got hundreds of millions, they know. But if you're less than $1 million, they probably have no idea who the fuck you are on cryptocurrency exchanges. And we haven't really done a good job of regulating such things, so there's really not a good idea. Right? And for a lot of exchanges in America, there is KYC and you get special perks for that, but not every exchange requires you to do KYC. Maybe they should, but they don't. So, it's all different type of ways of looking at it. Yeah, there you go, Larry. If you have more than 40% of the company's worth in stocks, you have to register with the SEC. There you go, right? That's probably something I don't want to do as well. I hate the SEC. They probably gonna come after me someday for bad-mouthing them all of a sudden. Yeah. What do you call? It would be interesting to have an investment company. I see them all the time online and things like that. And I think that helps them kind of see, oh, Jesus, this breakout's not doing too well, is it? I think it also helps them as well because one of my friends, he had to register, not him, his cousin had to register, and the SEC came after him because he was making some really lucky trades, and they wanted to know if he knew anybody and he was doing insider trading. And I think he was trading with a portfolio of around $5 million. So it was for me, it would be a hefty portfolio, right? But I think it had grown from like $1 million to $5 million in a matter of like a year and a half or something. So they thought that was very abnormal. And I don't know how they have the time to go after a small fry, but they always seem to have time for the small fries sometimes. Sometimes I should, yeah. But what do you call, they didn't get him for anything, but just the fact that they came after him a little bit, so asking questions. You know how much those lawyers cost to just to get you through the process? A shit ton of money. If you want a good one, that'll like walk you through everything. So at the end of the day, he wasn't found it. Like, he could prove to why he bought this and all that type of stuff. But like, if you guys are making a trade and it's more speculative or something like that, you have to be able to prove why you made this trade. And shit, people like me, I have a fucking terrible memory when it comes to stuff like that. And you have to keep better records than what I do now, at least. Seeing, hey, Deval, I hope you're doing well. Do you think Ethereum Classic will break out soon? I'm hoping so. I mean, Matic just broke out. I'm hoping that it continues to go up even higher. What do you call it? The 10 minutes ago, the day just ended, and we actually closed above the 35,300 mark, so I'm hoping we can go a little bit higher. But I mean, it's right on the verge. So if you wanted to take a nip at it, you could definitely take a small nibble or even a larger nibble. But I would say your stop loss again is going to have to be within like 3% or so in order to make it worthwhile, because you're hoping that sometime over the next 2 to 3 days, really 2 to 3 weeks, 2 days to 2 weeks, excuse me, you're really hoping for it to take up at least a 10% pop. And I think that's pretty reasonable to expect at this point if Bitcoin keeps on breaking out the way it is now. Because we just broke out here. We got knocked back down, but at least we broke out, which means it's going to be a lot easier to get back above here over the next few minutes. So now we got to get rid of this, as much as I hate. And now we're looking back at this, which was like the original pattern, I guess. Consolidate. See, but this will take all the way until like 6:50, 7 o'clock or something. We better break out well before then, otherwise it's just going to be miserable. Nobody likes to wait and watch charts, which is why, you know, it's why I have multiple monitors. I have a monitor over there. Sorry, Loki's over here trying to get pets. That's why I have monitors over there, monitor over here, monitor over there. So if I'm trading and I'm waiting for something to happen that I think is going to happen, whether I've already bought in a position or I'm waiting to buy, I will literally just drag this over here. I'll open up something on this screen, and then I'll start watching an anime. I'll start playing a video game, and as soon as I see what I'm looking for happen on that screen over there, all I do is just literally exit out of the game and whoa, drag it back over here, and I'm fine. Or I can make the trade over there, but right now I don't really have a full view of what's happening because my camera is literally like right in front of that monitor, so I can have like a better view with you guys. And then I usually, since I'm taking more content now for you guys, making more content, I literally have it set up so I can actually move my camera wherever I need to in the house really easily. Which means now, in order to do that though, my camera is literally blocking that monitor. I actually have my one of the chats over here with you guys, but I can't access the chats as easily as I can looking over here, and that's because I have the poll. And when I'm using my OBS software, the poll is actually taking up the bottom like quarter of the comments on the screen, so I can't actually see them until enough people comment and move them back up, which is very, very hard for it to do, right? All right, but we're still doing fine here, guys. We're just waiting for this breakout to occur again. We've had that smaller breakout, which is good. It means people are still buying in. And again, if you're looking at the 5-minute chart, you're seeing a potential crossover happening. I'm not overall too concerned. The 15-minute chart makes me more concerned about consolidating for like another half an hour or so. I'm really hoping we can just not do that and just kind of move up higher, but we'll have to wait and see. Matic broke out over here, consolidating, but see, it was a lot easier for it to get back up here, and now it's going up to another level. It's at 67 cents right now. If I go back over here to Fairdesk, which one is it? I can go over here. I go over here. And then it's up. Oh, it went down somewhere. Matic. It's up 1%. Whoop whoop. 1% or $1. But yeah, so you get my point here. So it's still making nice little pops here, but I'm hoping it goes up even higher today. So a lot of this is just patient. You're seeing it at a resistance level. You see the momentum getting up higher, and you want to see where it goes next. But at the same time, you just got to be prepared for it to hit your stop loss, and you end up losing some money as well. So, you know, either way, you go over here to Matic, right? It's trying. Will it? Who knows, right? Well, I think it will, but, you know, all you can do is use the technicals that you know and the experience you have in order to see if it goes your way. But I'm hoping we can go a little bit higher. I would hate for this to be some type of ugly double top here, but we'll have to wait. There you go. And Bitcoin's going higher. That's nice, right? So, see? That breakout did have a small effect. Little old me just looking at a 1-minute chart, I just couldn't be freaking patient enough for it. But when I'm streaming, I'm not very patient at all. Not very patient whatsoever. I'm using Rule 147 and interstate to move around registering. I can only add 35 new shareholders, and 60% of my company's worth are in Japanese maple trees. Oh, that's cool. So I'm a tree company. That's actually pretty cool. And what about Viacoin? What about it? Mystic Ruin. Yeah, watching the charts and waiting for some of these moves can be dreadful. Dude, I know. You just have to be able to preoccupy your time. The more you look at it, the more you second guess yourself, the more stuff you see, the more like, But like once you have that trade in there, stop loss is going to hit or your price target's going to hit. Whatever hits, it hits. But yeah, if that stop loss hits, you feel bad, but you're like, okay, well, on to the next one, right? It's not going to destroy you. Waiting, that's a whole nother ball game here. But again, that's why it pays to have different monitors, and it pays to have other, have a system. Some people don't need to look at the screens all day like I do. Maybe somebody doesn't want to watch anime. Maybe they want to read a book, something like that. You can read a book and have a chart right in front of you. That's not bad. I have friends that listen to audiobooks. I listened to an audiobook last week. It's something I've listened to like 1,000 times, but it's The Prince by Machiavelli. So I like that book a lot. I just love the way he phrases stuff. Everybody has their own way to pass the time, and as long as you're passing the time without freaking out, you're going to be just fine. Right? As long as you focus on the momentum and you guys have proper technical analysis, actually, all that stuff too. See right here. Hi, Max. So sorry to hear about your mom. Thank you. I appreciate that, Richard. I'm just wondering, when it comes to setting up a decent stop loss position, do you recommend using ATR, average true range, or to get the right position? I would say average true range is an okay place to start. A lot of times I'll go for order blocks, just kind of that support range. So if I notice we're breaking down below that support, I will end up closing the position. It really depends, I would say, on how you're trading. So when you're day trading or scalping, I would say an ATR range of some type would probably be the preferred way to go, unless you want to use a specific, like, hey, this, like if I'm scalping right now or something, right? And I see us break down, like my stop loss right now might be something more along the lines of 35,200. Some people might want to have it up here nice and tight. I'm probably not that type of person. But if you add it on here like a... Oh, not what I'm looking for. ATR stop loss finder. This is from a guy at Verified or whatever. You could do this, right? So if you wanted to buy right now, your stop loss could be right there. Personally, for me, I just like using potential breakdown spots, because then my mind is like, okay, if we break down below this, right, we might go higher in the future, but do I want to leave that position open for that long term and like let it go down more and more and more for maybe some potential gains in the future? For me, normally the answer is no. That's one of the reasons I did that scalping video a few days ago for you guys. It's just because it's an easier way for newer investors, not even new investors, just investors that kind of want to have things a little bit more streamlined. It kind of makes things a little bit easier. For me though, I usually like to just see order blocks and stuff like that, or find these like hard levels of support from candles. Yeah, I'd probably just say I like to use order blocks, a little bit more. You can find them on using Lux Algo indicators free, or you can just say, hey, there's a level of support right here that we kind of found, held at for a while, rebounded, and then there's another support level way over here from that nasty wick from the fair value gap, stuff like that, honestly. Or maybe if we start to break down from here, maybe I'm like, maybe I don't want to do that. It all kind of depends on what you're going for here. But usually the order block's the best way for me to find my stop losses. And usually that goes because I usually like to swing trade. Naturally, I'm more of a swing trader than a scalper. This market has turned me more into a day trader and a scalper than I otherwise would like to be. But when you look at the stock market, which how I was trained to invest, it goes back to that. So if I go back over here to something more like an, oops, what can I look at here? Microsoft, maybe? I don't know. A weekly chart with Microsoft. All right. So you could see a support level right down here, right? And so what if I'm doing trading stocks, I usually look at weekly charts if I'm doing massive swing trades, okay? So you can see how we broke down right here below the support. I think you guys can see that, right? But we didn't close down below the support. Once we close down below that level of support, even if my stop loss might have been around here, that's kind of where in a stock I would actually look to sell the position and take my loss, unfortunately. But if we are not closing below this in the weekly charts, I actually will just be fine holding it until we actually see that close occur. Now, the problem with that is sometimes it can continue to fall down the next week. We've seen that happen before, in which case, I'll probably just sell and take the loss. But usually, if I'm buying around here at a support level, right, because I'm buying at support, and I'm trying to make some money on the reversal, right, even if I have a stop loss here or here or here, it's usually going to be within the ratio of making a nice profit as it comes back over here. In this scenario, I would have been looking at something like that as my price target. Now, this would have taken, what, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks? Oh, no, 4 weeks, because it actually popped up right here. So 4 weeks. So, you know, there's different ways to view it. I would say with day trading, though, you want to have that firm level. Swing trading, it gives you a little bit more flexibility because you can kind of keep track of what's going on. You're usually not looking at too many surprises. Crypto market, of course, is a little bit different than that, but I think you get my point there. Even back over here to, I don't know, what's something else that we haven't talked about? Macy's. Macy's is doing too hot right now. Right? So let's say I'm looking for a pivot opportunity over here, okay? So I buy Macy's right around here. As soon as it closes, I'm out. You see how it actually bounced back up after a while? But that's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, maybe even just 4 weeks over here, 5 weeks, if you want to count that. Before I'm looking at a nice profit, and it would have been like, and you have to, it would have hit that stop loss anyway, going all the way down to 1279. Now you can see it happening again here. Oh, it's not even hitting that level yet. I guess it's hitting that kind of order block, not the specific level. And you see it kind of reversing. I might buy this here and then kind of wait for that pop, but it didn't really hit that support level I would have wanted. But most of the time, it's a small breakdown on a lot of these different stocks, like JP Morgan. I guess the bank's a little bit crazy because we had a banking crisis. But you can see, right? It wasn't too much lower down. Right, then we had an issue, then it kept coming down, then it popped back up, of course, but by then, fuck it, I'm not doing that, right? Next level down over here. Bounced, came back down, but it bounced, it didn't close above it. Even there, maybe the stop loss might have still gotten hit. It kind of depends on how much you're going to let it ride. And then maybe get a little bit of a move right there. But yeah, everything's a little bit different. We just saw the breakdown that occurred right here before JP Morgan. That happened all the way back in August. And look at that. Give it a little bit of time and boom, it's coming back down. So, all depends on how you're trading it. I would say more times than not, I'm going to be just using my head a little bit, you know, my personal preferences. If you are day trading, though, it doesn't hurt to have that hard stop loss because you don't want to become a bag holder on a day trade, right? That's painful. That's really painful. A bag holder on a swing trade is painful, but at least you get used to it after a while. You know, a day trader becoming a bag holder is not something you want to see. Oh, there's the breakout. Yay. Okay, there you go. I knew it was a good time to come back to Bitcoin. But yeah, there's the breakout. That was nice. And it did happen kind of right after that little breakout that we saw right there. Nice. Okay, so now we're up to 35,637. Bitcoin is now making another surge here. I stayed on live for a while, longer than I normally would, because I knew something like this was probably going to happen, but sometimes it just takes so long. That's why I even said, we're probably going to break out, but don't hold me to it because we might not break out. But I was like, yeah, the bullishness, it's there. So yeah, now we're breaking out again. And so now we've actually hit that level, and now it's going to be another battle back and forth. But we broke through the wall, and I know it doesn't seem like it because we're having another red candle. This is a 1 minute chart, so just bear with me here. It looks more dramatic than it is, I should say that. 1 minute charts look very dramatic. Look at the 1 second chart. And there you go. That's the breakout right there. Now we're trying to hold that 35,582 level. It's okay if we don't hold it. It just means that next time we come up to retest 35,582 as a level of resistance, it's going to be much easier for us to break out above it. We've talked about this quite a few times here about that last breakout, the breakout before that, the breakout before that. I feel like people really get concerned when we start to break back down a few seconds after a breakout. But yeah, so just had a breakout. Things are looking pretty solid at this point. We're seeing a small consolidation here, but again, this is a second chart, so please don't freak out. Ow, I've been wearing my headphones so long that they're starting to hurt my head. And these are really fancy, cushiony ones. They're no Audio Technicas, but these Sony ones are pretty good. And there's the breakdown that I was just talking about here. Small one, but nothing crazy. All right, so now we're consolidating back again. Let's kind of see what's been happening to the rest of the market here. Let's open up a 5 minute chart, and let's just kind of go down the list here. Ethereum still consolidating, waiting for that next breakout. ADA still breaking out here, made a new high. Dogecoin still doing, now it hasn't broken out again, but it's still doing fine. XRP, this is actually looking for a change of character reversal right there, but we'll have to see. Ape token consolidating. AVAX still, oh, AVAX is breaking out now again. XS still doing okay. Bitcoin Cash, okay. Matic, I mean, it's actually broken out, so I can't be mad about it, but I'm waiting for that big poof to happen with it. BNB doing fine. Chili's right here doing fine. Crow, these are 5-minute charts, by the way, so fine. How is Sushi doing? Sushi had a really big pop a few minutes ago, and I'm waiting for it to see if it goes up again. There you go. Sushi's still consolidating. Sushi could have another big pop here, guys. If you guys wanted a YOLO play of the day, it's definitely going to be Sushi. Now, Sushi rose by like 50% yesterday, or yesterday's candle. You can see that huge move. Very careful if you go in here right now. Be very careful. This is a YOLO where you could expect maybe another 20-30%. I don't think Sushi has the largest of market caps anymore. It used to be a lot higher, I think, but people don't like to swap anymore. People just generally don't like to fucking swap. You can find it on most exchanges here, but the market cap is 266 million. That's small enough to be pumped up pretty nicely here. Anything else popping off a little bit more than the last few minutes? Mana's up 1%. Mana's having a nice pop here. Anything else though? Everything else is pretty okay. Not bad or anything like that. Just okay. All right. All right, nice little breakout there. We'll see how much higher it wants to go. This is a 50-minute chart. We're going to hop on over to the 5, though, so we can kind of see this in a little bit of a different light, so to speak. There you go. Breakout. At a discount. Listen to the Book Invaders by Hepner if you like sci-fi. I will have to listen to that then. I cannot physically read books too much these days because of ADHD and how it kind of got progressively worse throughout my life. But what do you call? When it comes to audiobooks, I can listen all day, every day. I can put it up on my TV and I can just listen to it. It's fantastic. Let's see. And hey, Ken, yeah, let me pull this up on the side here so I can do it without it messing up the chart. All right, let's go over here. Let's go over to I'm just opening a plugin on ChatGPT that goes over fundamentals. Save me a little bit of time from having to look up all the earnings reports, right? Let's see. Let's see. Am I zoomed in here or something? Oh, I am. That's why. Okay, that's what. There you go. All right. I'm basically telling it to give me all the fundamental analysis it has on Disney, and I can kind of interpret that to maybe see why somebody's buying. Now, from a technical perspective, as far as Disney's concerned, it's been crashing. It's been crashing hard. They can't seem to make good movies lately. They have a few hot ones out there every now and again, but basically they've kind of been enveloped in this culture war issue stuff where, how do I say, like, from the movies, I guess they've been replacing a lot of white actors with black actors. I don't think really that's the problem with all of it, but there is a vocal group of people that don't like that. I think what's really the main cause of the technical issues right now is because their movies have been kind of failing and people, their streaming business is just hemorrhaging money at this point, like just hemorrhaging money, but that's more of a fundamental thing here. There you go. Oh, now we're coming down a little bit. Shucks. But what do you call? Going back to Disney here. Can't seem. They think that replacing a character with somebody that's a minority, they think that'll make up for bad writing, and it can never do that. In fact, that's what it pisses me off, because then they put a black person there, and the black person gets a bad rap because of the bad writing. They seem to be not paying for good writers. Maybe that's it. I'm not entirely sure, but the writers who have been making those movies as of late are just not doing a good job. If you guys know about Kang the Conqueror from the Marvel, I just watched Loki today, I think. Yeah, earlier today. The black guy that plays King, Jonathan Majors. He got into he's in some type of court battle with some woman who says he was abused by her and all that type of crap. They're thinking about scrapping Kang entirely and going over to Doom. These type of dumb decisions really just mess up a lot of stuff. You know what they did with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. They took away Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean. I wanted to see Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp. Even if the movies were getting stale, I still get a little kick out of watching Pirates of the Caribbean. I love naval shows, naval movies. And it has like a boat in it or some type of historical aspect to it. Let's just say historical. I like historical movies. Like Gladiator. I just watched Gladiator the other day. It was a great movie, right? They can't make movies like that anymore because they just don't have talented writers. Or maybe there are talented writers out there, but they're not willing to cough up the money for them. I have no freaking idea, but it's painful. They're having an error finding the Disney fundamental analysis. It's not really working out very well at all, actually, at this point, this software I'm trying to run here. Okay. There we go. Maybe it'll give me an answer, maybe not. I don't even know if it's going to run the plugin here, or the plugin might just be broken. That might be something as well. Let me let that go for a second here. Oh, it's on YouTube too? Oh yeah, that saves me a lot of time. I don't have to pay for it. I'll definitely have to listen to it eventually. Once Disney lost their city status, I became disinterested. Well, what do you call it? Just they hopped into the political realm. You don't hop into politics as a company unless you're really sure that everybody's going to be behind you. And oh my God, look what happened to Bud Light. I mean, they just got killed. Like Modelo, I think Modelo is the #1 beer brand in America right now. I'm not a Modelo fan myself, but you know what? They've taken over. I don't know, the taste of they may have a good beer out there, but I sound like such a fucking snob. I like craft beers at my local breweries and pub houses and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of a stout, and it's hard to get a nice stout in a bottle. If somebody offers me a Corona, which is I think owned by Bud Light, I'll take it. As long as it has a lime with it, because Bud Light usually doesn't. Corona doesn't taste good without a lemon or lime. If somebody offers me a Modelo, I'm probably not going to like it all too much, but I'll drink it because it's beer. You know. But yeah, it's a little bit different. Yeah, it's not finding anything about Disney. I have no freaking idea why. But the reason, probably from a fundamental aspect, is the price of the stock has just gone down so much that eventually it's going to go back up higher, and eventually Disney's going to have to do some major cost cutting. The weird thing is, I just heard off of CNBC the other day that Disney is looking to invest a lot in their cruise ships and in their theme parks, which I guess should be fine. But really, the way Disney stock should be going up is not because their cruises are doing well or their parks are doing well. It should be because their streaming platform is doing well and they're making good content and getting more subscribers and things like that. So like ChatGPT is broken, or that thing is broken. Let me go over here very fast. All right, so Disney Plus lost roughly 11.7 million subscribers worldwide in 3 months that ended in July 1st for a new total of 146 million. Okay. All of the decline came from a low price version of Disney Plus in India. Last year, Disney lost a bid to renew the expensive fights to Indian Premier League cricket matches. Oh, this is New York Times. Okay. It's not all from freaking India. Okay. Yeah. That confused me very much for a second. That's Statistica. Yeah, they're all trying to say it was India. What do you call? See, even going back into last quarter, this is Volt. I don't know what actually Vulture is, so this may be false information. Heads up. The numbers market continued to decline for the streamer, having lost 2.4 million in its last quarter of 2022. So this is 2022. Okay, so not forget about last quarter, whatever, with the Indians. I don't know. This is actually from. Let's see. This one says the same thing. So, oh, it happened in 2020. Okay, they've been losing subscribers more recently, I guess. This is just the big one, I guess, right here. Yeah, because this is back when they were doing layoffs. I guess all the stories are back there. But why are they updated? They're not even up. Yeah, so weird. Oh, that's Yahoo Finance. This is why I need ChatGPT to do all the dirty work, because I can't go sifting through all the earnings reports. They're too freaking long. But overall, when a stock has fallen down so much like Disney, but you know Disney's not gonna go bankrupt, right? Usually in those circumstances, you start to buy back into it. I would say, okay, I understand. I would probably be nibbling in even if I was an investor myself, but I wouldn't be going big. If this guy's hoping to make a really good return on his investment, sure. I could go over to Finviz very fast and just see if we can find out who this sucker is. Oh, that's weird. Okay, you can see that. Let's go to the weekly chart. You can see how much that stock is. It went from 199 bucks to 81. Monthly, it went from $202. Oh yeah, all the way to 81. Blah, 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 blah. I don't see any buys in just yet. Everybody's been selling. Woodford Brent, EVP Control, Independent Tax. They've been selling off like crazy. January, February, March, April. They sold at $105. They sold at $95. Now they're selling at $90. Yeah. They're not very happy with this at all. That's what I tell you. But it looks like they had options exercised, so they're just selling their options. Is there a way? No, it's not going to give me the actual stuff here. No, okay. Nobody's bought into it yet, that's for sure. Net income, operating gross profit. I mean, they're still making more money. The profit's going up and revenue's going up and up and up. Profit is, profits, it was up last year. It's going down. So their revenue continues to go higher, but the profit seems to be going down a little bit here. And that kind of shows you why Disney's going down, because they forecast the loss and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Bitcoin's coming back down a little bit more for consolidation. And thank you, Discount. I would always take a beer. I love beer. I don't drink beer all too often, but I do enjoy it. I probably have like 2 beers a month. Not a lot, but you know, I mean, tomorrow I'm probably going to go and get a flight of wine, of all things. And then I think maybe later on I'll get a couple cocktails. But, you know, when I drive somewhere, I got to take an Uber, right? Because I know I'm going to be having a few drinks. I don't want to get buzzed. And my uncle just got a DUI in Portland. Fucking dumbass. He's not really, he's been kind of shunned from the family because of his dumbassery. But again, you know, just to show how much of a dumbass he is, he got a DUI, right? So I try to be the responsible of the family. Like I said, before my mom passed away, she didn't have a job because, you know, she was trying to fix her body up and stuff like that. My grandparents are retired. My sister's in college. I'm the only one in my family that actually has a job. Maybe my grandfather's kids from his other marriage, they have jobs. But, you know, as far as the immediate family, I'm the only one that has a job. So I'm the only one that actually has to manage my money like somebody that's working, I guess you could say. So, and all of my friends, I don't hang out with them as much as far as going out and drinking. I went out with my friend and we got sushi a few weeks ago, but I haven't hung out with a friend. Well, my mother passed, so of course I'm not really going out, but I went out with my friends a couple weeks ago because they were already coming before my mother passed, so I just still took them out for sushi because I promised them I would. Since then, if I go out, it's because I've been taking my sister. I usually spoil my sister greatly because I want her to understand if you want to have money, these are some of the things you can buy with money when you graduate college, right? But that's me taking her out for proper, nice fancy restaurants where it's like, $100 a person. I wouldn't call that really crazy expensive, but moderately expensive, right? I think it's pretty expensive for the average consumer out there. And so things like that, like we went out to Stanley and Seafords out in Tacoma, Washington, a little bit north of where I am. Beautiful view of the city. We had a blue crab and artichoke dip with little pieces of bread. It was delicious. They were ready to offer my sister alcohol, even though I did the responsible thing that says, hey, my sister's not 21, she's only 18. But they were about to give it to her. I got her a mocktail. And then she got her $8 mocktail drink. I got myself a smoked bourbon for $18 where they infused the smoke. They didn't really know what they were doing because you're supposed to let the smoke kind of sit in there for about 60 seconds to 90 seconds. And, as much as I want it, like as long as I want it to really be there for it to really absorb. They did it for more of the show than actually let the smoke get into the flavor a little bit. That's okay. I'm being stingy about it. But what do you call it? My $18 bourbon there. And then I ordered a nice shrimp fettuccine, which I really love fettuccine, especially with the really good homemade Parmesan cheese stuff. My sister ordered a salmon with a spicy garlic sauce on it, I think it was. And then we each had that. Then she had a pumpkin tiramisu, and I had a creme brulee. Creme brulee is the way to my heart when it comes to desserts. And then I had a double shot of espresso, which again, I will always rant. That double shot of espresso at this restaurant costs $4. That is the craziest and cheapest espresso I have ever heard, and it was great espresso. Great. But $4 for a double shot of espresso at a nice restaurant, that is unheard of. I'm going to have to go back there just for the espresso. What do you mean? Support local screw big corporations? I mean, local just has better flavors. I mean, like, even if you want to, like, compare corporation beer to local breweries, because I'm in Washington State, there's tons of them out here. There's no competition. There's no competition at all. And I don't really see that much of a difference in the price either, unless you're really buying a mass-produced bottle, then it's going to be much cheaper to buy that bottle than a craft beer, but that craft beer, whoosh. I would encourage any of you guys like to drink. A lot of places out there, oh, look at Bitcoin coming back down a little bit. A lot of places out there actually have little stores where they have, I think the one out here is called a Hops and something, where you can buy there's like hundreds of cans of beers you could try out. And then sometimes they'll sell sandwiches and stuff there. My favorite place is over here. Safeway. Here it is. Okay. Peaks and Pints. Sorry, I just totally forgot the store, but I knew where it was. Okay, so look at this place. See how they have all this beer here? Look at this video. All of that is beer that you could try and have a new experience with, and it's all local players. Like, it could be from Montana, Idaho, Washington, but it's all like, small. And they got ciders, they got everything you can imagine there. And you get to eat your sandwich. You order a sandwich, they got stuff on tap. But then you get to go get your beer that you want to eat with your sandwich. It's freaking awesome. This was my go-to COVID place to eat because I could just get a beer for lunch and get a sandwich with a pickle and some potato chips, right? Great place. I'd recommend anybody that lives in Tacoma, Washington, or around the area, go there, grab a beer, and get yourself a nice sandwich with some pickles. Like I said, pickles. It's great. And some potato chips. It's good food. There's nothing fancy about it. But I don't think this is designed to be a fancy place. It's just designed to have some good food and some good beer. I was like, what more could you ask for in life? And you can get stuff on tap. I have yet to get stuff on tap. But if you look, you can get stuff on tap to the pint. So I don't know if I can zoom in here at all, but yeah, but see, all types of cool stuff. Great place, great place. I haven't been there in a hot minute, but I should probably go. I usually only go there with friends, and if I don't have a friend that wants to go there, I just don't go. I should probably just go there by myself and be like, hey, I want a beer. Oh, let's see. And hey, Mystic. Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the lack of good content. 100% agree. It's just the lack of good content. I've been asking for, you know how they bought Star Wars? I thought they would do some really fun stuff with Star Wars. I really did. But then they made I don't know, you know, you go back to the prequels or the original trilogy, so to speak. And what did they do? They made that exact same trilogy modernized by making another big Death Star, characters that I didn't grow attached to. Luke Skywalker, he's not hopeful and strong. He's like weak and like, man, now I'm like, what the hell happened? But yeah, but see, it's something that can be corrected. It's not like it's something crazy that's so hard that if they can correct it and tweak it just a little bit, they're going to be fine. And as far as Disney's concerned as well, I think they can and they will fix it because they have to, because of money. Money fixes everything. And once they kind of get out of this culture war nonsense, which they shouldn't be in the first place, they'll be fine. They may still be always in it a little bit, but they at least they may be making good content while they do it. And if they're not making good content while they do it, then shame on them, honestly. Hey, Richard, as far as I can see, Bitcoin broke out of the handle from a cup and handle formation that started around September 2022. September 2022? I mean, that would have been around here, perhaps. But this isn't too much of a cup and handle, though. September... around September 2022. Let me go over here to the daily chart. Maybe it'll be a little bit more. See, it's not too much of a cup, only because of what happened with FTX. I mean, that really killed a lot of technicals here because nobody expected FTX to fail. Remember, FTX was on top of the world. They were influencing politicians left and right. They were having proper dinners with senators and House members to try to formulate regulation that would go after Binance. It was I mean, they were good until they weren't. But you know, that was all the that high is 20,000. We're up to like 35,000 now. We're way beyond that. Because let me actually just open up a freaking new window so I'm not messing up this one. All right, so for those of you guys that don't know, oops, let me find the photo. There we go. And this is a cup and handle right here, right? But we're way beyond that September 2022 start. I mean, we're way beyond that right now. Way beyond that. Right now, you're probably thinking of Wyckoffs and things like that at that point, how we're breaking out. Yeah, because September 2022 is right on. Yeah, September. This is September, all right here. It never really had a naturally forming curve. We kind of curved back up and then crashed. Perhaps if we were talking maybe something more of a this, but even then, see, we crashed. Yeah, it's not really a smooth cup and handle. I mean, you could say this was almost a very ugly inverse cup and handle, right? Came back down, didn't retrace more than 50%, and then took off. I mean, this is kind of not something I would consider too much of a cup and handle itself, though, because just because you see all those wicks, it's not natural enough. You kind of want to see that more of a dip. But let me go back over here very fast. Maybe something on a larger scale, perhaps, like a... no, there's not really much larger scale here. Maybe if we take off log. At this point. I wonder if there's any hidden levels of resistance we have to worry about up here. Oh, yeah, there the shit is right there, isn't it? Oh, we got a little bit more wiggle room. Let's hope we can break above that. Let's see. This is with log off, though. Put it back on, and there you go. That's so fucking bearish. Holy shit. Let's not talk about that, though. That would suck. Oh, there we go. Maybe in a few weeks, you'll probably, if we come back down just a little bit, you might see people talking about that pattern right there a little bit more. But for now, I don't think we have a reason for Bitcoin to crash. The economy is still fine, generally fine, and we have good news incoming, most likely when it comes to what do you want to call it? ETFs and stuff like that. Sorry, it took me a couple seconds to remember that. Oop, this is not even the chart I want to be on. So let me go back over here. I knew I was going to mess stuff up if I did everything on this one. Let's make sure this is still afloat. It still is afloat. My gosh, they're making us work for this. But at least we did make a new high again. So remember, every time we make a new high today, that is a new high for the year 2023, which is actually a very important thing. So I know we're only looking at this from smaller time frames, but it still is important. We do have these breakouts. If it's only India, no big deal. They have to resubscribe monthly manually. No auto resub allowed there. Oh, well, see, yeah, that's also something. Thank you. I didn't know that at all. Do I have a Lux algo strategy that for someone that can only trade for 3 hours? I would say you're probably going to want to look at a scalping strategy. I have one I just posted a few days ago. I'd recommend watching the entire video. And then here's what I'll say, because there's a lot of different videos on YouTube that talk about different type methods of making money using Lux algo indicators. Go over and use some of their free indicators first before you want to put your money down. And then I would go hop over to their Discord channel and ask people what their best strategy is, and then try to learn that strategy while doing paper trading. And then once you feel proficient enough in it, actually allocate some funds, usually starting off with $100 in a cryptocurrency account or some type, right? And then trade it. The one I have uses a Watson envelope, an ATR stop loss finder, and a RSI with a setting of 5. If you watch the video I put out, like literally just a couple days ago, the video was out. Like maybe even yesterday, the video came out. It'll say this. It'll say scalping strategy somewhere in it. But really, learn from the people on Discord. They'll be able to give you more one-on-one time than I can. You know, being a streamer, obviously, I can't really do too much. Or can't do it for too long. But yeah, I would say that's one of them right there. I would also go see what other people can do, though, for you as well. And Kane, I appreciate it. Thank you. I know it was a surprise to all of us, that's for sure. And hey, Discount, thank you. I appreciate it. I know you're lost, so to speak, right? And thank you, Discount. I appreciate that quite a bit. Yeah, it's definitely been a bummer of a month because of it. I remember I canceled my Vegas trip in September. September 29th was my birthday. I made sure to I canceled that trip to be with my mom because she wasn't doing too hot. Let's see. It's running, but why do you believe Sushi has some serious gas left? Thanks. Couple things. One, I expect Bitcoin to continue the rally. Sorry, dogs over here. And after that, it's really more of a YOLO play with a decent stop loss. So it's more of a gamble play, not really a technical. Let's keep raw. Usually when I see plays like Sushi, let me go over here to maybe a 1 hour chart. Right, these types of consolidation that we're looking at, I could easily see it go back from 116 back up to 130. And I'd be perfectly happy with that. I would trade that all day, every day. Now, you look at the 2 hour chart, 4 hour chart, you can see how we're still building up a little bit more. I would still expect at least one more pop. Where that pop ends, Nobody exactly knows, but I would still be moving my stop loss up bit by bit by bit. So no matter what happens after a certain point, I could walk away with a profit. Going back over here to the daily chart, what we're dealing with is kind of this range here. I just picked one part there randomly. Really, this is a pretty freaking fat range here. But anywhere in there, I think we could attain over the next week or so. And I know it's like a crazy pump, don't get me wrong, but another day, I think we could have another day in it. And if, for whatever reason, it doesn't work out, let's go back over here very fast. That stop loss is pretty much going to be right around here at this low of 1097, which means that'd be a stop loss of about 5%. I'd probably be trading with its 10x leverage. And so I'm risking 50%, which again, this is a YOLO. And if it just gets back up here to maybe 126, let's not even say that. Let's just go 125. That's 8%, 8.5%. Let's just say 8%. You know, 8 times that 10x leverage, excuse me, for that 50% stop loss. Yeah, 10%. That's like 80%. The ratio is not perfect, but hopefully, I mean, you'd probably be able to buy it before it pops off here. It's still consolidating, right? Yeah, it's still consolidating. Okay. But yeah, waiting for another pop here. Maybe this could make some type of cup and handle here. Who knows? Be watching it closely. But yeah, I think it's still some gas left in it. But yeah, you're not going to trade this without a stop loss. That is for sure. It is definitely one of the more risky ones, which is why I have to designate it a YOLO. But just because it's YOLO doesn't mean you can't make more money on it. The momentum is still there. And you notice the one good thing about this before I move on, it hasn't had that complete breakdown that you would expect off of that. People are still buying this. Why? I have no freaking idea. If there was some news or something behind it. But something is keeping this thing going up, and I'm here for it. But again, it's if you're trading with a 5x leverage, you're risking about 25%. If you're trading with a 10x leverage, you're risking about 50% of whatever position you're in here. And if it goes up even higher, then of course you can make some good money on that. But always know it could go back down. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. And hey, Ibra, we did just break out, so people are definitely going to be more bullish with Bitcoin. We're in the middle of a consolidation phase right now. We did just make another high of 2023, so people are going to be more bullish. Short term, you're just seeing a lot of consolidation happening at this point. Let's see it. All right, what's this right here? Oh, May. Excuse me. Oof. May 2022. Oh, I think it's not so much of a cup and handle. That's why that handle kind of took way too long to kind of form. It would have been a kind of more of a cup and handle pop right here if it kept on going up, I believe. But again, the FTX really just fucking demolished this. And even over here, this big move, it's not as gradual as you would like it. I think people were probably looking at something more of the effect of, see, this just messed up so much stuff here. Yeah, I think it just the handle probably took a little bit too long. From what I understand, and I'm no expert on cup and handles besides kind of like the day-to-day stuff, because I usually look at it mostly on 5-minute charts and 15-minute charts is where I focus on cup and handles. Normally, it's not supposed to exceed a certain amount of days for the handle, so to speak, right? I think what we were talking about this was, I think, an inverse head and shoulders at some point, I think. Maybe I'm thinking about something else here. But yeah, I don't think it just fit all the characteristics of a cup and handle. That's probably what was going on here. I think people were looking more for a Wyckoff in this type of environment here, and we're kind of in that last phase of a Wyckoff here, where we may continue to go higher, we may crash at the end of the day. At this point, it looks like we're going higher, though. Oh, no, get out of here. Let's go back over here. There we go. And seeing how Bitcoin's doing. And hey, Brian, happy to see you back. Come on, go up. I know, freaking, we're all waiting for this sucker to go up. I mean, we did just have a breakout here, which is going to make it easier down the road, but we still want to see the momentum carry on. Anything else moving up? Mana's up a little bit here. It's up 3%. Everything else is still, I would say, holding steady. Nothing too crazy. My pick right now, Matic, is still doing nothing. I guess last 5 minutes actually has gone up higher than it was before, but not to where I want it to go, as you guys know. Excuse me. Jesus. The more I talk, the more I burp. I wonder if there's a way to not inhale so much air when you talk. If there is, I'm going to have to meditate on it or practice. My Matic position is up 2%. So again, it looks like every percent that Matic goes up, I make $1. So we'll see how that works out for us. But again, this is a longer term play, and we're not really we're not thinking about selling it, but I just wanted to show you guys the hopefully some breakout potential. If you guys were trading with 5x leverage or 10x leverage, you guys would obviously be up a little bit more at this point, but I don't think you guys necessarily have to trade with large amounts of leverage in order to make a living in the markets. So there you go, Bitcoin. Stay strong, Bitcoin. Stay strong. We need this sucker to keep on popping up here. And hey, Chum Nation. Yeah, we are missing a little bit of volume right now, that's for sure. We did have a breakout, though, which is good. So we have something going on for us. I would have expected more of a wall here after what we experienced yesterday. But that wall, there was no huge event there. I mean, we got chewed out a little bit, but there was nothing seismic there, which is a little bit interesting. And I'm looking at my my YouTube video behind me as well. I'm looking at some pattern stuff on the screen. Oh, I know you guys. I'm watching some patterns and stuff on the screen, but we're still kind of way above that initial breakout point from earlier today, above that 35,000 mark or 38,000 something. We're still doing just fine there. I'm trying to look to see if there's anything else from a larger thing. Yeah, and all the change of characters, 15-minute, hour, 4-hour, 1 day, they're all bullish. They're all bullish at this point, so everything's kind of pointing for us to go up more. But you're right, we definitely need some volume. I think the volume that we had like ready to go today was all kind of used up in that middle of the day tirade that we had. This thing, this monstrosity. This is why I always tell people to be careful about trading during rate hike days. But hey, we were talking about how intense volatility was coming up ahead within the next few 24 to 36 hours. But this type of stuff always sucks because a lot of people lost money during this. We broke out, we crashed back down, and then we broke out again. And so everybody that lost money here, they probably bought back up here or something, and now they haven't really made much money. They're hoping for another breakout here. And I can't blame them. I'm pretty sure people had stop losses up here if they were shorting, or stop losses down here. They got chewed out. And that happens every now and again, but we don't have moves like this all the time. Like, let's look back in time a little bit. We have drops like that, but not sky high like this. A mini version. Right? But this is a very mini version. We don't have moves like this all too often. We really don't. Where we're having the big slingshot moment. Here's one. This isn't out of the ordinary. That's a big breakout and coming back down to consolidate. That's not the same thing. No. This might be something similar perhaps. I don't know. But this is after a big drop, see? So we're already kind of expecting it. Big pop. Yeah. We don't really see moves of that caliber. If I can keep zooming out here. You see that little teeny one. But yeah, we're not used to seeing these types of moves all too often. And especially because, I thought if we were going to have a move like this, perhaps it would be coming back over here around the announcement of the whether or not we were going to have another Fed rate hike. This happened freaking early in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. 5:45 a.m. my time, and then the crash, ended at 7:55. So what a freaking crazy time. I don't know if there was something that was happening as far as... there might have been some type of economic report that was out, or some type of news or something here. I'm not entirely sure what, but yeah, it really did freak people up, so to speak. Let's see. And hey, good morning. Lost $3,000. Yeah, see, those types of moves are definitely, they are pretty darn crazy. It just, people don't, that volatility is very hard to manage. And it just makes it very difficult to the trade that type of stuff. Let's wait here. There we go. But at least we're in a good spot right now. We just had a formal break. We've had 2 breakouts today. 2. Now we've had an yesterday, during yesterday's daily candle, we had 2. No, yeah, during yesterday's daily candle, we had 1 breakout. Today we've had 1 breakout. We may have another one where we reach another high here. But again, we're still in a very good spot. It's just always scary because, you know, if you zoom out and let's go to the weekly chart, you're like, oh shit, no, Bitcoin's doing just fine. You know, we're doing fine. We're breaking out. We're still going higher. Everything's fine. But if you go over here to the minute chart, everything is so much more freaking dramatic. So much more dramatic. There you go. And still waiting for this breakout to occur here. Well, I guess another breakout to occur. There you go. Got the sun out. I think, no, it wasn't sunny today, but it might have been okay. I think everybody was taking it easy after all the trick-or-treating people did. I know friends that had nobody trick-or-treat at their house, like maybe a couple people. And there was like some friends of mine who had like hundreds of people go to their house. I think one person even had 1,000 plus and they ran out of candy. They just closed up shop early. Typically, what's I think happened more and more these days is more and more people will travel to specific neighborhoods for candy. My grandparents live in a very nice, luxurious neighborhood. Very nice place. Maybe not luxurious, but like, no, it's nice. It's really nice. A very nice area. Okay. There are people that travel, they park their cars all along the street and they just start going to those neighborhoods to get candy. My grandparents don't care. They got a lot of candy, but if they run out, you know, then they're out and they just, no more candy. Sorry. You know, you want an apple? You want a healthy sweet? But you know, yeah, you know, it was a pretty crazy Halloween for some and not so crazy for others. I barely streamed yesterday. I don't think anybody showed up for the stream really because it was Halloween. Everybody was busy doing their own little parties and stuff like that. I didn't mind, but I think I only streamed for like a half an hour or something like that. People doing vengeful shorting and got killed. Oh yeah, I mean the liquidations were wild. Like one of the things I have on my 24-hour stream, I know it's hard to see, is a fun little chart that I have up here. Not chart, but a fun little liquidation thing. See that little thing that's going down like that? So you can see liquidations happening in real time. Now, these are sensitive. I don't have it set to really high liquidations, like millions and millions of dollars. But, you know, well, there's $1 million one right there. 200,000 liquidation, 500,000, stuff like that. Actually, sorry, these are just the trades. Liquidations are on the bottom, which I don't have shown right now. What do you call? There are definitely some trades going on right here, that's for sure. Oh, let me go back over here before I start talking about stuff. Oh, right. All I'm really waiting for right now is Matic. I'm not patient at all. Ooh, Gala is up a percent. They're still making some moves. So that's nice for them to go higher. GTC is going up. This is something I'd watch pretty closely. This is a good day trading opportunity. Golden Cross just happened on the 15-minute chart. I'd be watching this one very, very, very closely. It attempted to have a double top here, but buyers came back and it said F you shorts. Dealing with some resistance up here. Next level of resistance is really closer to almost $1 here. Solana, that's still consolidating here. Still doing okay though. How'd that? It's still holding that 200 here. That's a nice thing right there. Hopefully it can have a breakout for you and go a little bit higher. This because this thing peaked up so high, it means the breakout. Oh yeah, it already broke out right there. Hopefully it can get back above that 50 there. And it gives you an opportunity to move up that stop loss for some profits. It's a really good sign for Solana right there. All right. But okay, everybody. I'm going to call it a night here for streaming. If we do have another breakout later on tonight, I'll probably hop back on. But I need to get some water. I need to take Loki out to use the bathroom. And I also need to do some, I guess, some other work stuff I need to handle here. With my mom and stuff. But yeah, so I'll see you guys a little bit later potentially. If we have another big seismic boom, you can guarantee that I'll be hopping on here. But I gotta call my sister, call my grandmother, and I got a new cleaning lady starting tomorrow, and I need to like figure out exactly what the hell she's gonna do. Because I I always do trials with cleaning ladies because some cleaning ladies don't like to clean certain things, and if they don't want to clean like the bottom of the floorboard things, then there's like a no-go. But what do you call it? I will see you guys a little bit later potentially. Right now we're still consolidating. It looks fine, but just in case we go back down, don't freak out. I guess I would say because people are gonna freak out. But enjoy the rally because remember we just broke